banana emoji, 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 banana emoji,
banana, banana, juicy, banana, bucci, banana, juicy, banana, bucci, banana.
Keep coming.
Absolutely, I want Jay to put a Switch 2 in my mailbox.
All right. Yeah. Somehow I got two. You guys thought it was going to be a switch. How is everyone doing today? I just got back from Toronto last night. Nice to see you guys. I got some goodies. So, yesterday, I got to go play the Nintendo Switch 2 with every single game that you can imagine, all of them, for hours and hours and hours. So today on the stream, I finally get to reveal that's what I was doing in Toronto, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, here's another announcement. Biff, don't laugh at me. I am media. I am media. All right, so listen. You guys know I'm not a greedy person. So, the good news is this. I managed to get the first giveaway Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart. So somebody who's watching right now is going to win a Nintendo Switch 2 personally from me at some point in time. So if you're watching this video, we're going to figure it out. Someone's going to win a Switch 2. 110%. And on top of it, I'm not a greedy person. You know that. So Nintendo was kind enough to give me 2 bags. So I'm also going to give one of these away. Because why not? So we're going to figure that out. And then on top of it, I'm going to give away another Nintendo Switch in a couple months. So thank you for supporting me. I hope you guys...
Press A for clit, or F to eat ass.
I'm trying to do the intro, Alice. Trying to do the fucking intro. The intro doesn't need clits and asses. All right. Okay, well.
Absolutely, Jay. What is better, Switch 2 or sex?
Sex, Mr. Williamson. So thank you for asking that question. I appreciate the support. So just to recap, I played the Switch yesterday. It was an event. Trust me, it was an event. I'm making a video that's going to be on my main channel as well. So this live stream is all about you guys and what you guys want to know. Then tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I get the video up. Switch to bribe money.
Switched to bribe money.
Yeah, bribe money, all right. So, just to recap. Raiders, what's up there, dude? So, just to recap, I got to go down to Toronto yesterday. Nintendo was kind enough to invite me and Johnny Millennium, Victor Lucas, a whole bunch of other Canadian journalists. Technically, I'm media, so I know you guys don't believe that, but I've had 15 years doing that. That's why I still get invited to events like this. It's kind of funny to see the people be like, how did Jay get in there? I have a whole career you guys don't even know about. You may know me as a streamer, but I used to review things. Living Legend, thank you, dude. Well, Living Legend, I had to cancel yesterday's get-together anyways, so you didn't miss up. You didn't miss anything. So, I'm going to give away one of these bags, and I don't think he's here. Yeah, he is here. Now, listen, everybody is welcome to the draw. I want to make it fair, so I'm giving away 2 Switches. I already got my hands on 1 extra Switch. So within the first week, I should get that on the 8th of June. I will ship it out the second I get it. I go to the post office and I ship it out. So we're going to see who wins it. I don't know yet.
Where is my Switch to Daddy J? It's gift time.
Spookster Vibes, thank you. But I want to make a very special announcement right now. I'm giving away one of these bags. I already know who I'm giving it to, and the person who I'm giving it to is watching right now. The person I'm giving this to did something incredible for me, and I owe him a lot. He did an amazing job editing an amazing 1-year video for me. Oh, man. I don't mean to get emotional, but yeah, I'm giving it to Zalen. These things are like super rare, and he absolutely deserves it. So, Zalen, send me your address. I'm sending you one of these out. I don't know why I'm getting emotional over that, but I appreciate what he did for me, and I also owe him a lot more than that. So I'm gonna send one of those bags to Zalen, and yeah, they're super, super rare. I think you could only get them if you were invited to the events. So, dude, your name is on one of these. It's totally yours, dude. So you I'm gonna include some stuff inside of it for Zalen too. So thank you to Zalen for supporting me for the last couple of years, or the year and 4 months. I appreciate you, man. So send me your address on Discord. And if you guys can thank Zalen for me too, I'm going to give my extra one to Zalen because he definitely deserves it. He's a son of a bitch. So this one's yours, buddy. I'm going to fill it with some Canadian goods. I'll ship it out to you right away, dude. All right, so.
Carefully, Jay. Mr. Rich is jealous you got the opportunity to play the Switch too.
Is he? What did he say? All right, so this is the inside of the bags. I don't know if it's designed to really hold a Switch 2. It's more of like it's designed after a Japanese school bag, to be honest with you, Zalen. So I hope you enjoy it, man, and I know that you want to get a Switch 2, so hopefully when you get one eventually, you could pop it in this bad boy. This is yours, buddy. All right, so moving on from that, thank you, Zalen. I love you. You know that. I have to figure out a way to give away a Nintendo Switch on the show. So until I figure that out, everyone's welcome to enter into this contest. I don't know how to do it properly yet, but somebody's going to randomly win the Switch 2 if you're in North America. I've got the Switch 2 with Mario Kart bundled together, and somebody's going to win it. Somebody that's watching my show. You have to watch my show. It's that simple. You have to be subscribed, obviously. And that's it. Subscribed, somebody's going to win. I don't know who. Then, later in the year, in a couple of months, I'm giving away another one. Well, as soon as I can get another one.
Confirmed. Walmart themselves canceled DSP's order.
I heard about that. So let's wait a few minutes before everyone gets here before we start talking about the Switch 2.
Absolutely. I got a Switch 2 pre-order this morning, Walmart.
Oh, nice. Mailsman, that's awesome. You got that, man. So, Zalen, I'm also going to include... where is it? Where the hell is it, Zalen? Wait for it. Wait for it, Zalen. Gonna include something else in there for you, buddy. With a bunch of other stuff, of course. Hang on, where is it? Well, I'll just show it.
Absolutely. I'm late. It's all over.
Tim, you're late. You're fired. So, Zalen, I also have one of these. Zalen, what
That
the
is
hell are
too
you-
kind of you, Jay. I got a pre-order from Walmart due to Dino.
Oh,
Got
wow.
one of DSP's. Now suit up with whatever is nearby.
Zalen, I'm gonna murder you. Also, Zalen, I'm gonna include a lanyard because I have 2 lanyards from the event, and I have a secondary media pass that I'll put into the bag as well for you, buddy. Listen, do I really have to put it on now? Can I put it on tomorrow? God damn it. God damn it, it's too hot in here. Zalen, can I get a rain check for tomorrow so I don't look like a jackass while I talk about the Switch 2? You bastard. All right, listen. Here's the deal. Zalen's being nice enough to do that for me. How about this? Tomorrow when I stream, I'll wear the suit the whole stream for Zalen. There you go. Congratulations, you son of a bitch.
Congratulations.
You are my baby daddy.
Yeah, there's no way I'm putting it on right now. It's too hot in here. The air conditioner's broken. We're getting it fixed, but okay, deal. So thank you, Zalen. I love you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So, Zalen, DM me on that platform and send me your address. Oh my God, what's happening here? So let me get through some of these. Colezilla, how are you, man? Holezilla, where have you been?
Hole.
So yeah, how's everyone doing? Today's going to be a very interesting stream talking about the Switch 2. I got a hands-on with the console and many other things. The console, the camera, the Pro Controller, all of the first-party games, tons of third-party games, including Cyberpunk, Harry Potter, Street Fighter, you name it, I basically played it. So I'm here today on this stream only, and it's not going to be a long one. Anybody wants questions, just ask me. We're going to go through all the questions for about 3 hours, maybe a bit less. Then I'm going to work on my video, and that's hopefully going to be up tomorrow before I stream, if not Monday. So, thank you for tuning in, man. It was a crazy day yesterday, going down to the Nintendo and getting to play it. Hitman wasn't there.
I will win that Switch 2. 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 I will win that Switch 2.
Okay. How many people are here? Let's wait. Let's see. Oh, of course, YouTube crashed. We're going to wait a little bit longer, guys, because...
Jay, do you know any stores that have us to demo units?
No stores in North America have demo units. You can only go to these events to be able to play them right now. So, unfortunately, that's the
How
problem.
well did Hitman run?
Mystery, unfortunately, Hitman wasn't at the event. Tons of games were there, but Hitman was
Bro,
not on demo.
so the pre-orders were up again last night at Walmart.
Yeah.
I must have DM'd almost the whole Discord so they can get one love, you guys.
Dino is a fucking legend, man. Thank you so much for doing that. You're unbelievable, man. Let me go through these super chats here. Raw Dakota, thank you for the support, dude. Spookster Vibes, thank you. Alice, thank you. Mr. Williamson, thank you for supporting me. Evan, thank you for the support. Living Legend, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the get-together yesterday, so you didn't miss it. Spookster, again, thank you very much. R.E.S., what's up? He says, Rich is jealous of the opportunity to play the Switch 2. I don't think he is. Is he? Never Blown Bubbles, thank you so much. He said that he's confirmed that Walmart canceled DSP's orders. We'll talk about that on May 1st, the May 1st burst stream. Mailsman Son, I got the Switch 2 pre-ordered this morning. Congratulations, man. I hope you enjoy it. We'll be talking about that all
Jay,
stream.
did you play Bonanza in handheld or only docked?
Only docked. I'll talk about it after. Living Legend. I'll answer that in a second. Stranded J, thank you for the gifted membership. By the way, thank you to everybody that's giving gifted memberships. We're already at 2. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. And Colezilla gifted a membership. Thank you, Colezilla. Thanks for showing back up, you goddamn sexy son of a bitch. Living Legend, thank you as well. Zalen, you're too kind, my friend. I'm going to load your package with Canadian goods. So let me know if there's anything you want from Canada within the Switch bag when I send it over to you, my friend. All right, so.
If someone could only get one, which would you recommend, BOTW or TOTK?
Oh my God. Hang on. I'll get to your...
How does Mario Kart World feel?
Okay, I'll get to that, Tim. Thank you for the support. I'll answer that. Dr. Disrespect donated.
To the little girl asking Jay for a Switch 2, I've got one in my white van without the windows. Come on, get in.
Dr. Disrespect, thank you for the $5.
Absolutely Canadian coom not goods.
Okay. Drummer Punk's lost his goddamn mind. He must be turned on. What does the Switch smell like? It smells like a Switch. Tim, thank you. I'll get to your answer in a second here. All right, so I'll answer some of these. Mystery said, how well does Hitman run? I answered it already, but I'll say again, it wasn't at the event, so unfortunately I didn't get to play that. Vapist, I can't confirm or deny that. I didn't see.
Stupid mobile phone won't let me gift memberships.
Unbelievable. All right. Let's wait another half an hour before I get into the thick of it and talk about the details of the Switch 2. So let's... What's up? Thank you for the support. Let's just wait for more people to get here. I know a lot of people watch this on VOD, so shout out to the people that are going to be watching on VOD. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on my channel twice. So I'm giving away 2 Nintendo Switch 2 systems, hopefully both bundles. I've got my hands on one, so get ready for a giveaway on the channel sometime in June, around the 8th. I'll have my hands from Amazon another one. Do the carts taste like? So that's something I can answer in a second here too. Unfortunately, none of the games I played were on cart. They were special demos designed for the event. Now, I'm going to have a video up on my channel with my opinions as well in the coming days. So I hope you guys watch that as well. We got footage, we got pictures, all sorts of things. Emmer, thank you for the support, Emmer. Who's going to play it or not? So, yeah, if you super chat a question, I will answer it. So don't worry if I skipped over it. I have a list of all of the super chats here. So Tim and Freddie, don't worry, dudes. I will answer your questions. All right, so Emmer. I don't know why it's not playing. Oh, my God, Paul the Alien's back.
In the midst of a world that seems to be foaming at the mouth with you and rich are reminders that there are still good people in it in spite of.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, May 1st burst stream is happening starting at noon
Absolutely.
on May...
Listen, Richie needs his switchy handed over.
Yeah, Rich could get in line. Thank you, Spookster. You son of a bitch. Paul the Alien has been a member for... Prubits. Thank you, Paul the Alien, for being a member for 1 year, dude. I appreciate you big time. All right.
Any negative or critical thoughts? Is the mouse okay?
I have thoughts. I'll get into it in about half an hour.
Maybe we'll do a guitar together this summer or fall at Dave and Buster's Oakville or Cineplex Junction Erin Mills, and of course our ghost meetup.
Yes. Living legend.
Still
yeah.
at work. How was your experience, Jay?
You guys are going to be surprised, I think. So, Nightbreaker, just give me about... I just want to make sure all the people show up here, because people are still rolling in.
Paul?
Raw Dakota, thank you for the support, dude. I appreciate you, as always, man. I appreciate all of you. Yesterday was a very special day for me. I got to go back to my hometown of Toronto, play the Nintendo Switch 2.
Absolutely. I took May 1st off from work. Make it sexy, Jay.
Oh, Mailsman's son, yeah. May 1st burst stream with Rich and I, starting at noon on his channel. Don't miss it, because we're going to destroy Phil. I can't wait. I can't wait. I don't talk about Phil here,
Jay,
but I'll
did
do it over
you
there.
get any info on the switch to South Battery? They
I did a little.
advertise the same thickness. Please release the beaver so they can mingle with the capybaras.
Yeah, Nothing Special's been a member now for 14 months. Keep in mind,
Congrats, Jay. I'm jelly.
Congratulations.
Substantial, thank you for being a member for 12 months, dude. I hardly hear from you on the channel here, but thank you very much for supporting me for a year. Same goes out to Nothing Special. Thank you for being members, guys. I really appreciate you both. I will be answering all of the super chats, so don't worry. I'm not skipping any. We're just waiting for more people to get in here. Zeno, I'll answer that as soon as we get, because people are still coming in. I just want to make sure everyone's here before I start. I don't want to be one of those.
How did the switch to feel overall?
And then, of course, if you've got questions, the super chats I'll answer first. They have priority, obviously, but then you guys know I never leave the chat alone. So just keep asking if I haven't answered in chat. I will answer everything in the stream today that I can possibly do. Then I have a video with footage, photos, and my overall thoughts of the system. So if you see today's stream, you're not seeing everything. I'm going to save that for the video.
It's sexy time.
Paul the Alien is back. I goddamn love you.
Keep coming.
So yeah, if you got questions in the chat, just keep asking them until I answer, okay?
Beavers will mingle with capybaras. Beavers will mingle with capybaras. Beavers will mingle with capybaras.
So yeah, again, we're almost there. I'll wait until we get a few more people, then we'll start. I won't wait for the whole hour. Is this the Wii U 3? No. I'll answer that right away. This is definitely not the Wii U 3. How's Victor Lucas smell? Dude, his hair always smells good. Mystery, thank you for the support, dude. Holy shit, 20 bucks, dude? Jesus Christ, dude. Let that play.
Richie needs his Richie. 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 Richie needs his Richie.
Oh, here it is, Zalen. Here. So, Zalen, I'm going to send you the bag. This is Zalen's bag, by the way. I got 2 of them. I'm not greedy. I'm not a greedy person.
Absolutely. How did Victor Lucas smell? He's best friends with my mortal enemy, Tommy Tellerico. In fact, you're friends with other mortal enemies of mine, like 8-Bit Eric and Worski. WTFJ, I thought you were my friend in the attic.
Mystery, what the hell are you going on about?
Came back to Earth just for the Switch 2.
Paul, thank you very much. So, Zalen, I found it. That's what you're going to also get. That's the play card. So I played 6 different games. They signed it. I'll put that in there for you as well, my friend. So it's embroidered. It's a really nice bag. It's Japanese designed. You could tell right away. It looks like a Japanese school book.
If
bag.
you were at the NYS2 event, you would have met Skiller.
Oh, Skill Up was there? Yeah. Living Legend, thank you. Keep in mind, if you guys super chat asking questions about the Switch, I will answer them on stream today. So don't worry. You'll get your... people are still coming in, so I'm still going to wait. Omar. Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy a garbage too. I'm gonna have to buy a garbage too. I'm gonna have to buy a garbage too. Oh.
Hang on a second. Thank you, guys. Hang on a sec.
Absolutely, listen, get over and play with my Switch 2.
I just want to display this because it's such a nice, cool bag. I'm so grateful to get stuff like this. There we go. Yeah, it's Nintendo gave those to me, and I was like, what, 2? 2? I knew immediately I was going to give it away because I really don't need 2 of those. Let's get real. I can't wear 2 at the same time, so... Yeah. The one in
How
only...
does the Joy-Cons feel with the new magnetic attachment system? And also, how does the console feel in terms of weight distribution? Banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji.
For my understanding, the only way you could get that is if you completed the 6-game challenge, which I don't think a lot of people did. But I don't know why they gave us 2. So we got 2 bags. One of them's going to the good old Zalen, the good boy Zalen, with the media pass, of course, for Zalen, and the lanyard, the Switch 2 lanyard. You know, Zalen deserves it for all that work he did, plus more. I'm gonna make sure he gets a good care package for me. You'll see, Zalen. Oh, you'll see. All right, so Spookster, thank you very much for the support. Mystery, I will answer that. Raw Dakota, thank you very much. Paul the Alien, thank you very much. Living Legend says, if you were in New York City, you would have met Skill Up. Yeah, dude, I wish I was at the New York one. I was okay here. Omar says, I'm going to have to buy a scalped Switch too. No. Walmart has some right now. Like in-store, GameStop has some. You better run over there. Does Happy Console Gamer smell good, says Raw Dakota. Yeah, actually, he's never smelled bad, and I've held him. Okay.
Oh, stole my pre-order. I'm calling the FBI.
Let me update. Okay, you know what? I think it's a good time to start some of the questions. So, how we're going to do this, because I'm doing a video on the Switch 2 myself, my overall thoughts, if you should buy it or not. I'm not going to really get into that. You guys have to watch my video on that, but today is a Q&A. I'm going to answer as many questions as possible while I'm live here. So let's start now.
I got a pre-order at 5 a.m. this morning by following a Discord that
Nice.
sends out notifications for restocks or different pre-order waves. Never give up.
Yeah. Miserable Brain. Listen, Brian, thank you so much for the support, dude. Never give up. He got one. All right, let's start, man. So the first question I got in Super Chat today was from Freddie. I'll play it again. Freddie asked this.
If someone could only get one, which would you recommend, BOTW or TOTK?
Okay, well, I was lucky enough. So, yeah, I know that Super Chats are coming in. And
Absolutely.
people complain.
Listen,
I know.
play 1-2 Switch with my tipples while you rub your Switch with my Switch.
I'd love to. Review Tech Mongolia, thank you for being a member for 12 months. I appreciate you. Andrew, thank you too. Okay, so that first question, I know I've got another one coming in here. Hang on. Andrew asked this.
Is the SW-Tich 2 Pro controller worth at $84 us? It looks very similar to the original Switch Pro controller.
It is. So I will answer that in a moment. Here we go. So starting with Freddy Cougar, who asked which version of the enhanced games should he start with. I would say that is a very difficult. That's difficult. I would start with Breath of the Wild. So let me get this out of the way. I got to play Breath of the Wild in 4K 60 on the big screen on the Switch 2. It controls exactly the same, obviously. There's no enhancements when it comes to that in terms of the gameplay. There are some Features that include your cell phone now, so the ability to fix broken weapons is introduced into the game now. I believe both versions of the games. And you can also use your phone as like Google Maps, essentially, or Apple Maps. So you set pinpoints and it will navigate you on your cell phone to the locations in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So that's number one, what I want to say about that. Number two, let me talk about the graphics and the upgrades. It looks like, this is tough to say. It looks like it's just upscaled to 4K 60. It does not look like they went in there and enhanced it in a way that we had hoped. It does look like they might have fixed a few little graphic issues with the games, but it's not like you're going to look at it and be like, oh my God, now does it look amazing in 4K 60? Yes. And the reason it looks way better than it used to, the draw distance, I'll say this right. Yeah, so it's essentially emulated. So from my understanding, it's emulating the original games upscaled for a lot of the other stuff, but not for these versions. I believe they were ported,
Jane broke, so I canceled my membership.
Confused. Terrible news. You're fired. You're fired. Jesus. All right, Confused, it's fine. I'll get you one. Thank you. I love you. So 4K 60 on both of them. Now, let me just say this. It looks spectacular. If you've never played them, you want to start with Breath of the Wild because it is an experience at the top. Nintendo doesn't get better than this. Now, if you've played through the games, is it worth playing again? I will say this. It's worth playing for the hardcore audience. Casual, if you played through the game, you've experienced it all. I mean, having those new features is interesting. But I think it's worth playing again for the people who had issues with the performance the first time around, like the Lost Woods and a few of the villages. It ran terrible in Tears of the Kingdom. Now, guys, Tears of the Kingdom in 4K 60 not only looks crystal clear sharp, I'm talking about zero, and I mean zero issues with the frame rate. We're talking a crystal clear 60 frames per second no matter what you're doing. This includes gigantic creations in Tears of the Kingdom. No issues whatsoever. So I'm happy to say, yes, both of the enhanced versions of Breath and Tears are, for me personally, must-plays if you're a Zelda fan, because you're going to experience the game in a new way because of the performance. No more hiccups, no more frame rate stutters, no more ridiculous pop-ins. I will say this. I noticed one thing right away on all the first-party titles. This includes Metroid Prime, which I played. I'll get into that. This also includes Diddy Kong. I wish Diddy Kong. Sorry, let me start over. This includes Mario Kart, Metroid Prime, all of the Zelda games, Donkey Kong Bonanza. What else did I play? All of them. What I want to say is the draw distance is
I
lunacy.
will hopefully renew. Just give me time, Booba.
Confused. I love you. Thank you, dude. So the draw distance is spectacular. Now, 1440p, not 4K. So here's the deal. All of the demos I played, well, Woodley's saying it's 1440, not 4K. What I played was in 4K 60. I don't know if that's being released that way. I don't know the answer to that. But I definitely played Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild in 4K 60, and it looked unbelievable. At least that's what the person at the booth told me. So everything I say today is also based on what I was told at each of the displays. The first thing I'll say is the draw distance on the Switch 2 for the games now, like Mario Kart World, is ridiculous. It just goes forever. Like, I'm talking about until the horizon in the game, in World. It is way out there. That also is incredible. So, how was Metroid 4? I'll get to that. So, let me get through all of these. So, I hope that answered your question, Freddy Cougar. thank you for the support. Raw Dakota just gifted 5.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much, dude. You are a goddamn legend, man. Always, every stream, always gifting memberships, man. Always. So we're now at 8. Thank you very much for helping me get to that goal, dude. All right, so that's the first question. And I'll just summarize what I said. Is it worth getting the enhanced versions of Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild? For me personally, I have a fucking Triforce on my arm. Yes, it is. Is it worth getting if you're a casual gamer? That, I'll be honest, is debatable. Like, if you played it on Switch, you played it. You don't need to do it again. You're not getting anything super extra on top of it. You're just getting the experience upscaled to 4K 60. So, Raw Dakota, thank you. All right, Banshee, thank you for the support, my friend. I will get to that. Oh, my God. Bone Dragon just gifted 10 memberships, dude. We're now at 18. Thank you very much, man. Holy crap. Bone Dragon is back with a vengeance. Thank you very much. By the way, if I miss a super chat, I'll get to it. Trust me, I'll never forget any of you guys.
I want Nintendo to fail this round. I've never been this way about anything, but they really pissed me off.
Timbo, there's no shot in hell after what I played of Nintendo failing this round. I'm sorry to say it. It's probably gonna sell 8 million units on day one, which is almost as much as the Wii U sold in its lifetime. So, I get why you're angry, but that's not happening.
Listen, my load just left my pink nozzle at 140 or HZ.
All right. So, overall, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, 2 games that I will, as a hardcore fan, play again on the Switch too. Now, I also played it in handheld mode, and oh my God, I'll talk about the console as we get closer to the end here. The screen on this thing is massive. When you first see it, when you first see the Switch 2 and you hold it in your hand, guys, it is an experience because it feels bigger than the original Switch. I know that in photos it doesn't feel like it's much bigger. When you hold the thing, it's like holding a goddamn like iPad Pro in your hand. It feels like, not that big obviously, but it feels gigantic in your hand. And when you turn it on for the first time and you see that screen light up, you can realize this. This is something I want to get right out of the way. It's not OLED, but trust me on this, it's very, very, very close to that. The blacks aren't as dark as an OLED screen, but I believe it's mini OLED. Or mini LED, sorry. Misspoke there. It's mini LED, I believe. Don't quote me on that. We don't know the details, but looking at it, I think it is that. It is super bright, super crisp. So anybody that was worried about the screen being like the old Switch, not even comparable. So don't even worry about that. So let's get that out of the way. The screen on the Switch 2 is incredible. So that is all I'll say about that for now. Tim, he asked this.
How does Mario Kart World feel?
All right. Let's I'm going to answer this directly. How does it feel? Mario Kart World feels identical to the last Mario Kart Deluxe game. From controls, the vibe. The only thing I can really say about that is that you all know the strategy of Mario Kart, right? It's to win. How do you win? You collect coins, you use items, and you use the track for boosters to get to first place. That's what all the Mario Kart games have always been about. What I'll say about Mario Kart World is this. Think of that, what I just said, on drugs. That's Mario Kart World. So you're dealing with more items, more racers, and larger circuits. These tracks are also vertical. So we're talking about tracks that are designed for people that play the game over and over and over and over. So I could say this without shadow of a doubt. Mario Kart World, unless miraculously it comes out and there's something different about it, based on the hour of Mario Kart I played, which I did play, open world, Grand Prix, all of that stuff, Mario Kart World is simply put the best Mario Kart game I've ever played in my life. But not only that, it has the most content I think I've ever seen in a Mario Kart times 10. Like, take the last Mario Kart game, times it by 10, and then put it on an open world with not just tracks on the ground, but make everything vertical as well. So we're talking about an open world where you can go onto the tracks and practice with your friends, which is fucking amazing. But you also have to scale some of these courses to get some of these bonus items at the top. So we're talking about the last Mario Kart with that sort of like hover, you know, the hover wheels that would like turn the kart sideways. That's everywhere now. The whole world is all of that. So I will say this. World is flawless in frame rate. I didn't see one stutter with 24 players online local. Now, I didn't play online over the internet. We played with 24 players in a giant room. It ran perfectly. I'll talk about more Mario Kart in a bit. But yes, Mario Kart World feels exactly like the last game in terms of its mechanics. There's nothing different about it. Well, wait a second. There's one different thing. When you crash in Mario Kart World now, the physics engine completely remade. Based on how you get hit, will juggle your cart in different ways. So if you get hit with a blue shell, you'll flip around and land on your head. But if you might get hit by, like, somebody bumps into you, you might just go on two wheels for a second and then flop back down. That is a totally different thing in this game now. So when you get hit with a blue shell in this game, it takes you out of the race. And you're like, oh my God, disastrous. But if somebody just hits you with a green shell, it might just flip the cart over on its side for a second. And you might keep going, you might stop. It's depending on the texture of the ground. It's depending on if you're on water, land. It depends if you're in the air when you get hit. So now there's a physics engine built into the combat of the game. Now, I'm not going to say that it's like extremely noticeable off the bat, because I think right away you're going to be like, oh, I got hit by a shell, I got to wait. That's not how it works anymore. You don't wait anymore for like a weird animation to play. Like, you get hit by a shell and you essentially are still moving, and you could just you can recuperate some of that loss from being hit by the shell. So there is a stun, as you would know it out of Mario Kart, but the stun is on a scale. It's on tiers. I would say there's probably like 10 different tiers that you can get hit on now. So if you get hit by a blue shell, that's tier 10. You get taken out of the race. But you get hit by a red shell, it might only be at 5%. So you could still get back into the race. So all of the items seem very balanced. But I will say this before I shut up about Mario Kart, because I got a lot to say about Mario Kart. I could talk about that game for half an hour. It is pure chaos. So get ready. And I mean chaos. Like, it is, if you think you're good at Mario Kart, get ready, because you're going to have to learn it all over again. All of these new items work hand in hand with the tracks, the track design, the vertical aspect of each track plays into the new mechanics. So it's absolute lunacy when you're doing that cross-country tour. I can't believe how much fun it is. So get ready for that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I know I went long on that one, but guys, the game is incredible.
You can dodge jump now by drifting straight, rail grinding, and wall riding.
All of it.
Did you try any of that? You can combo these together to make your own path.
Shh, don't tell them that yet. All right, so Tim, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for the support today, guys. We got 200 people watching. If you guys could put a like on the stream for a second here, that would mean a lot to me. I hope you guys are getting your answers the way that you would hope I would answer some of these. All right, so Evan says...
Any negative or critical thoughts? Is the mouse okay?
Okay, Evan. He's asking if there's any negative or critical thoughts about the Switch 2 and how's the mouse controls. So, I spent about half an hour, I think, or 25 minutes with Metroid Prime 4. I played it in handheld mode. Sorry, I didn't play it in handheld mode. I played it on the TV with Joy-Con in my hand. So, TV mode. This is weird. It was only running at 1080p in performance mode. They didn't have it in 4K in anything else than that. So I'll say this. It looked good. It didn't look mind-blowing at 1080p in performance mode. I gotta keep in mind, guys, this is just demos that I'm playing, so I'm not playing the physical full release of the game. I'm playing demos that are pretty old. So take it with a grain of salt when I say, like, sometimes the games didn't look good. I'm not saying that Metroid Prime didn't look good. It looked incredible, as good as the remake looked on the Switch for Prime. But they told me that it's going to look much better once they implement 4K 60. Plus, handheld mode's going to have 120, which is absolutely insane. Now, the mouse. Let me talk about the Joy-Cons and how they control as a mouse. First and foremost, I will say that if you're standing up playing this system, depending on how you're standing with those Joy-Cons, it is, unfortunately, slightly awkward to be able to use it as a mouse. I'm just going to be honest. Playing Metroid Prime 4 was slightly awkward standing up. Now, once I leaned down on my own legs and I pretended to have like a table in front of me, that is when I noticed and realized that the mouse controls in Metroid Prime 4 are flawless. You can go from Joy-Con mode, holding it normal. Let me use Joy-Cons here as an example. Hang on. So,
did they have a Pokemon demo for the Switch 2? The Popin for the textures and draw distance were the worst with the previous games on Switch 1.
Gothy, I'll get to your question. I'll just say this. Pokemon wasn't there. At least I didn't play it. I didn't see it there. So, unfortunately, I did not play Pokemon. So, let me explain how the mouse controls work. Because
I have a 24 inches monitor, so 1080 would still be decent.
Yeah, Living Legend, totally, dude. So, when you're playing, you can use the Joy-Cons with the right and left analog stick, which plays just like you would assume in Metroid Prime. All of the controls are basically the same as the Metroid Prime remake. So here's where it changes. When you hold the trigger in and you target an enemy, you can use the motion controls with your right Joy-Con to be able to do super subtle movements like you could do back in the Wii days. So that's definitely in the game. That works. Now, here's where it's a little awkward. You've got your right hand is your mouse hand to control your cannon. Left hand controls Samus and moves her around it. Her around. Here's where it's awkward. I'll just get through this quickly. If this was on tabletop mode right here, guys, I'd be holding it like that. On the new Joy-Cons, it's a little awkward trying to hit the buttons while trying to aim, while trying to shoot and hit that button. It is. Now, I'm not going to say that, I misgendered Samus. You're fired! I'm not going to say that it's terrible. It's not terrible. What I'm going to say is that the mouse controls while being flawless from switching from Joy-Con mode to tabletop mode to the mouse mode. Flawless. You could do it in real time. Here's another thing I'll point out. You don't need to hold this directly flat down like this. You can actually hold it sideways and still use it like a mouse. So if you get a sort of a close-up here. Come on, focus, you piece of shit. So guys, you can hold the Joy-Con up to that degree of an angle and still use it as a mouse. You don't need to hold it flat the whole time. So you could do it like that or like that, which is, yeah, that's how the lasers work, obviously. So what's good about that and why I bring that up is because sometimes if you're holding it flat, it's just awkward to hold it that way. So sometimes you want to hold it slightly sideways like a mouse and still be able to hit the buttons and the face buttons. So, yes, it feels good once you understand it. Let me just say that much. Now, switching between the gameplay options is absolute confusion. So, here's where I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Playing Metroid Prime 4 is incredible. The game looks incredible. It runs incredible. All of that's amazing. The one issue, though, is like...
How does the C for cash button work?
I'll tell you after, Raymond. So thank you, dude, for the support. I appreciate you. So here's the deal about Metroid Prime. Once you start playing the game, you're going to figure out there's 5,000 different ways to play the game. So many different ways. Also because you're not used to using a mouse as the reticle, as your targeting system. It's going to take a bit of a learning curve before you realize, like, oh yeah, I forgot that I control the movement with my right hand like a mouse. Because sometimes you forget and you start, it's weird. You have this flat and you start to push the right analog stick and you're like, why am I not moving? And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. I move the controller now. So that's one of my experiences. Right away, I was like, wait a minute. This is very confusing. So at the end of the day, once you figure out the controls with the mouse mode in Metroid Prime, you're going to have an experience with Metroid Prime that I mean, based on what I played a boss level, the one that we saw on the Nintendo Treehouse event. Dude, it felt like I was playing Dark Souls. Like, it was challenging as hell to defeat that boss. We're talking about the typical Metroid Prime gameplay, of course, but they've amped it up a little bit. You know, like the bosses are smarter now. It's not like pattern based. All of the old games are very pattern based. So the boss would like do this, 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 and this, and you'd have to learn the pattern to jump and avoid and shoot. Now, it kind of switches it up subtly, and you're like, wait a minute, whoa, what's he doing? Like, he'll now, like, the boss will block shots. Because, you know, in Metroid, you have to hit certain targets on a boss. Now, you think it's easy. You're like, oh, just shoot that target. The boss is like, I don't think so. Blocks it. And you're like, wait a minute, what? It doesn't play like that anymore? It does, but it doesn't. You gotta think outside of your normal space a little bit harder is what I'm getting at. It's not like fucking rocket science, but it is definitely a little bit harder to play the game. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's just more difficult to beat some of these bosses. Telegraphed? No. So it is, well, I mean, it is still, let me get this straight. It's still on a pattern-based system, but there's a little bit more to it. All right, so any negative thoughts about the system? Yeah, I definitely have some negative thoughts about things, but it's not about the system per se. I'll get to that as I get to some of the third-party games. So, Evan, thank you for being a member. I appreciate it. Nothing Special donated and said this.
Jay, did you get any info on the switch to South Battery? They advertise the same thickness. Please release the beaver so they can mingle with the capybaras.
Banana.
All right, Nothing Special. To answer your question, unfortunately, all of the consoles are hardwired to power. No information on the battery. However, I will say this. there's a very fine balance between performance and battery life on the Switch 2. I can predict already that I think if you're playing something like Cyberpunk in graphic mode, it's not going to last long. I'm assuming an hour, maybe an hour and a half. There's no way it goes 3 hours. If it does, I'll be very surprised. So, I'll talk about Cyberpunk in a bit, by the way. Now, that's for Cyberpunk, nothing special. Cyberpunk on the Switch 2, you know what? Let me talk about that super quick. And I'm just going to get... So, somebody asked me earlier if I had any negative thoughts. And here is where... here's where I'm going to probably get hate. If you've played Cyberpunk, there's literally no reason to get it on the Switch 2. I wouldn't say that it's the lowest tier version of the game, but the frame rate on the demo, I should say, take this with a grain of salt, makes the game very, very, very hard to play. We're talking about a frame rate that I believe dips to about 20 to 40, somewhere inside of there. So it's not worse than a PlayStation 4, I would say. I hate bringing this info to you guys, but here's where a lot of people are going to be slightly upset with something here. Now, let me preface this by saying that Street Fighter 6 is solid frame rate, and it looks good. But let me break all this down quickly for you guys. Cyberpunk on the Switch 2 in docked mode is playable. Absolutely playable for people who haven't played it. But it's going to perform as good as, how can I explain this? As good as a third-party game can perform on the original Switch. It's not like playing it on PC. It's not like playing it on the PlayStation 5 Pro or even the PlayStation 5. I wouldn't call it trash. It's definitely not trash. It's visually stunning. It does look incredible. Performance mode definitely helps the game. It bumps it up to a solid 30 frames per second. But here's where we get into the technical aspects of what I saw that's going to disappoint some people out there. Now, I don't think that it means that the game's going to look the way I saw it today. This is a demo, so take this with a grain of salt. But based on what I played, I can't recommend anybody buys Cyberpunk for the Switch if you've played it already on PC or PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. There's no reason to go back and play it. You're not getting anything special here. You're not getting anything out of it. To the people who are casual gamers, it's going to be a mind-blowing experience for them. But from the hardcore perspective, the game looks better, definitely better than a Steam Deck. I'll give it that. It is definitely more powerful than a PlayStation 4. I would say it's running kind of like an Xbox Series S or a PlayStation 4 Pro. It definitely has moments of looking like a PlayStation 5. It has moments where you look at it on the screen and you're going, wow, I can't believe this is coming out of the Switch 2. It's unbelievable. But here, let me get technical. VRR. So we know that the console is using an upscale processing technique called VRR. That technology is fucking amazing to see on the system. But as you guys know, when we use any AI technology or upscaling technology, there's sometimes artifacts and some of the visuals can get sort of muddy. Unfortunately, a lot of Cyberpunk, when you look at it from a distance, so say I'm shooting something that's like really far away from me on the map, it's very hard to like pinpoint if you're hitting the object or not. So if there's an enemy that's like this big on the screen, like let's say this is a Switch screen on your TV and the enemy's like way back here, it's very, very blurry. It's very, very pixelated. Like back here. I'm just being honest. So when you're up close to enemies, like within, let's say within the world, within like 20 feet, it looks awesome. Again, though, you have to deal with the frame rate. Now, let me bring up something else while I'm on this, okay? It's disappointing to me because I would have rather got a solid frame rate with sharper visuals than the ridiculous visuals we got at a lower frame rate in the game. Now, can they fix that before release? They probably will, and everything I just said is nonsense. But the game doesn't run well as of right now. Now, here's something that I'm just going to be honest. The guy that was at the booth, he said turn off motion blur. And that actually made the game run a little bit better. So, you know, I don't think we're seeing the limits of the Switch 2 with Cyberpunk. I just think that it's a bit of a rush game. I'll be honest with you. It looks like it's incredible on the console, but it needs a lot of work. So hopefully they can patch that frame rate up for release for the people that are excited. But from a visual aspect, the game looks unbelievable. I'll say this out loud. I saw some of Cyberpunk on the big screen that was running on a level off of a handheld device that I've never seen before. Steam Deck doesn't even compare. The ROG Ally doesn't even compare. The Legion's the most powerful, I think, on the market right now. But I'm still going to say that I am so impressed with the Switch 2 hardware that it's still right up there, if not better than the Legion Go. So based on everything I saw, I can't recommend what I saw to people that have played it. Now, hang on a second. Optimizations are still going to be put out for the game. I'm sure it's going to be run better. If they could fix the frame rate, guys, then it's going to be a miracle that the game looks that good on the Switch 2. Let me reiterate with one other thing here. I also played Harry Potter. Here's where we get into what's happening here. Are these games being rushed out? Is it the demo? I don't know. But Harry Potter on the Switch 2, again, frame rate. We're dealing with a frame rate issue. It seems to be like we're dealing with a balancing issue here. The frame rate's a solid 30, but don't expect anything past that for at least what I saw. Taylor, thanks for subbing. So, Harry Potter was playable, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's another game where I'm like, if you have it on PlayStation 5, there's no reason to play it on Switch 2. I would say that a lot of the third-party games that I saw there were hit and miss. Because listen to this nonsense. Yakuza 0 from Sega was unbelievable. Frame rate, solid. Graphics, as good as anywhere else. Handheld mode, on TV as well. So, Yakuza fans, nothing to worry about. Yakuza looked incredible. Moving along the line, though, Street Fighter 6. Let's talk about this. Street Fighter 6 was like, I think it was a solid 60 frames per second. But because it was at a solid 60, the visuals had to take a bit of a hit. Now, I'm not saying that it's terrible, but I will say this. It's better than Steam Deck, but not by much. But it is, but not by much. So keep that in mind. Steam Deck has issues, okay? A lot of issues with third-party, any games, I should say, on that system, right? But they chose, like Capcom chose to make Street Fighter 6 run really well with the visuals slightly down. So Street Fighter 6 is incredible on the system. to be able to play that on the go, incredible. It's awesome. Now, is it a must own? Not if you own it already.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I predict a new 3D
Mario Kart. Yeah, Biff, thank you for the support. I appreciate it, dude. All right. Yeah, there's rumors of a new Mario game coming out for Christmas. I think that's probably true. Now, let me get to the next question, guys. Thank you for the support. We're at 18 members for the stream. Thank you for that, guys. Here we go. Here's the next question from the chat.
How did the Switch 2 feel overall?
All right, so I will say this about the console itself. The first thing I got to do when I walked into the event was literally pick up a console. The console itself is, I would say, if you took an OLED, you made it a bit bigger, but you made the texture of it feel different. It doesn't feel the same when you hold it. It has like this black coloring that they did to it, or I should say this matte black finish. It feels like it's not heavier. I would say it's as heavy as an OLED, maybe slightly heavier, but it feels premium. There's one issue that I felt, and it could be just because they were demo units, so don't take this, don't take this in a bad way, but maybe it was the Joy-Con I was holding. I don't know, but on the new Joy-Con, you have that piece of metal. For whatever reason, I was holding the Joy-Con, and I was able to sort of like push the side of the Joy-Con here. Let me show you. This could just be because it was like played, so... Right here, this plastic, it was moving slightly. So you could push it in, and it was kind of making a noise. Like, it was like, er-ee. Now, I'm just saying that. It could just be because it was broken, to be honest. Other than that, I have zero negative input on the design of the Switch 2. There's one thing I could tell you guys that's a bit of an exclusive. I don't think anyone even asked to do this. On the well, listen, no, the Joy-Cons are incredible. The new Joy-Cons are bigger. The buttons feel more spaced out. It feels great. Yeah, Happy Console Gamer broke it, didn't he? Yeah, he did play it first. Here's something that's amazing about the console. When you open up the little docking bay for the cartridges, it's way better than any of the past ones. As soon as I grabbed it and I opened it, I was like, oh, that's been redesigned. And the guy was like, yeah, isn't that much better? And I was like, yes. So it's not flimsy anymore. You know, like on the original console, you had that flimsiness vibe to it. You know, it feels kind of cheap and it's just being hung there by like cheap plastic. Now they have this like big piece of...
Jay, do the bezels look better in person?
Oh, yeah, they do. The screen looks amazing on the Switch, too. So, yeah, that right there. They have this, like, metal insert. So the cartridges go in easily, and when you put it in there, it just feels better. So the whole... I would say the whole insertion plate that used to be there has been redesigned. So it's super durable now. It feels like it's tough. Like, it feels better now. I don't know how to explain it. But, yeah, they've upgraded that. Now, the kickstand on the new Switch. It's a kickstand. I mean, it's as good as this one. It's not better or worse. It's as good as this. So don't expect like, wow. It's just literally a kickstand. It's a cool design because they kind of cut it out here. And there's an opening now. So it's a lot less bigger. So you can put the wires through and stuff. But I don't think it's like... I don't think it's like, you know, a bad thing. I think it's just the same. You know what I mean? Hang on, let me check something here. Now, let me talk about the one... Yeah, it's less tedious. That's what I should say. Same as the the way you put the cartridges in, less tedious. It just goes, you just open it, the door opens much quicker and nicer. It's on a better, like, sort of rail system. Because on the original, guys, you know, this little piece of plastic is what's holding it on. They fixed that. It feels much better to open it now. It just, like, opens, you put the game in, you close it. There's no, like, fiddling. It just closes. It feels better. At least on the system I played. Now, I'll get to your questions for sure. Don't worry about that. Okay, moving on. The Joy-Cons. Let's talk about those. Do I think that they're going to have issues? I don't know. They feel very close to these in terms of the right and left analog sticks. Very close. I would say slightly smoother than the original Joy-Cons in terms of the feeling when you move them. So if you grab your original Joy-Cons and you move it around, you can kind of feel like sort of different zones where it's like kind of bumpy or it's not as smooth. I would say that the whole circumference of the new Joy-Cons in terms of the, you know, like what is it technically called? Oh God, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue. I forget what it's called. Something ratio, technical term, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line is when you move it, yeah, the girth. When you move it around, it feels much smoother. So that's important. Like, we're not getting those, like, sort of bumps and weird feelings, you know? You know, like, you kind of, like, the rotation, the revolution. Yeah, it might be the revolution or the radius, I think I was thinking of. But the radius and everything of, like, that nature in terms of the radius. So, guys, what the radius means is, like, when you push it to the left, does the Joy-Con on the new one feel like it's going the same distance physically? They feel very, very similar. I would say the new Joy-Cons, in terms of the radius, is slightly wider. So that's good. Slightly. Not a major, like, wow, we're really pushing it over there with a lot more, tension. There's no real upgrade in the tension of the Joy-Cons. They feel exactly like this. Smoother. And the radius just seems bigger. So I hope that answers that. The clicking, identical. Holding them feels good. Now, a very important aspect of the travel distance. Yeah, that's what I should have said. The travel distance is a little bit bigger. The buttons, though, way better. So, essentially, the buttons are exactly the same as this, but they've put bigger shells on top. So if you click this down, that's what it feels like. Slightly looser, more of an arcade, like a top-tier arcade button feel to it. These ones, they weren't that good, right? Now they're about double the size, super easy to push in, and you feel a nice click when you click those in. So if you're playing Mario Kart with a Joy-Con like this and you're hitting them, it works way better. It feels way better, easier to hit. Now, the haptics in the controllers, definitely stronger. I'll say that much. But, I mean, it's not like it's like the most mind-blowing thing you've ever experienced, so don't get too excited about it. The Joy-Cons overall are bigger and better. That's the good news. So, it feels good to hold them. They feel bigger in your hands. Just like I am bigger in your hands. All right, so I hope that answered a lot of your questions about the console itself. Overall, the console itself, I have nothing really negative to say. Oh, the magnets. I should talk about the magnet release. The magnets on the back of the console, we're talking a very large amount of force needs to be put into the Joy-Cons to be able to pull them off without hitting the release button. So let's get this right out of the way. If I'm walking with my Switch to my friend's house or I'm just outside and I'm holding the console like this, you would have to literally shake it like this for that, like even harder than that for it to disconnect itself. That's how powerful the magnets are. The magnets are very, 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 very powerful. To get it to pull off, you have to pull really hard. Like you have to yank it off. You'd have to put your thumb or your finger on the Joy-Con stick to pull it off. Like it's not just going to fall off in your bag. It's not going to knock off. You're not pulling it off gently. So the good news is, guys, the magnet system is incredible. Way better than the rail system. Now, I'll also point out that you could put the Joy-Cons on like this by just clicking them in place, or you could put them down on an angle and click them in place, or top angle. It doesn't really matter. I know some people are wondering about this as well. The connection pins, very sturdy. There's a bit of movement to it. No shot in hell that breaks off. There's no way that you can actually bend the Joy-Con while it's in the system like this. It doesn't work that way. You can only pull it out. So there's no way to bend it and break it. It goes into the system too much for it to crack off. So that pin there is never breaking.
Listen, it takes a lot for me to pull out.
Does it make a click effect? Yes. When you attach that, it makes the click noise. It feels awesome. It's heavy. It feels heavy. It's like click. You know what I mean? It's a nice texture. It's a nice feeling, you know? But again, Henry says somebody will find a way to break it that way. No. You can, like, you know how this has sway? Like, you can move it like this? You know how all the switches are a little loose like this with the Joy-Con sort of wiggling? You can't do that. You can barely wiggle it. So you can't grab it like this and pull it sideways and have it break off. It's impossible. It doesn't work that way. It only comes out like this. It only comes out like that. You cannot, I swear, everyone's saying you can. You can't fucking do it. I held it. You haven't held the thing. You cannot turn it like that and break it out. It's just not happening. If you manage to do that, you'll crack your whole screen off and the whole system will come apart like a sandwich. Good luck to you. That's how strong it is. So don't worry about it. It's not happening. Mystery, thank you, dude. Appreciate the support on that 20 earlier, man. That's ridiculous, man. Okay, Omar says I'm going to have to buy a scalp version. That sucks, Omar. Dude, to break the Joy-Con like that, you'd have to rip it in half. Like it's not happening. Mike Sean said this.
How does the Joy-Cons feel with the new magnetic attachment system? And also, how does the console feel in terms of weight distribution? Banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji, banana emoji.
Mike, the console feels incredible to hold in your hand now. When you hold that thing, it feels like you're holding a goddamn tablet. The screen is an inch bigger, I think. I don't know the technical specs off the top of my head, but it does feel bigger. Like, when you first see the Switch, you're going to be like, whoa. Whoa. It's going to impress you. I think everyone that walked into the event that saw the Switch for the first time was like, whoa. That actually is much bigger. It feels like a bigger system, a bigger upgrade. So, yeah. And Derek, yes, you could hold my thing. So weight distribution on the console, by the way, it's the same. It feels the same as this, just slightly bigger. I would even say it might be lighter than this by a little bit. Well, you know what? No, it isn't. Hang on. It's the same. It's the same. Now, let me talk about this. The right and left triggers feel better on the new console. Even though they're the same, they just feel better designed. Feels better in your hand, feels better when you're clicking it. The right and left bumpers feel good as well. All of the buttons, I should point out, feel really good on this system. They feel identical to this. I would say maybe even slightly bigger. Obviously, they're slightly bigger, so you're going to get that feeling in your hand too. When you hit the buttons, you're getting more of a connection to them. So that's amazing as well. Let me just talk about this quickly. And I'm just going to be honest about it. The only upgrade to the Pro Controller that I felt was there's 2 buttons on the back right here and here, and those will be very, very useful. So in Mario Kart or, you know, Metroid Prime, if you're playing with the new Pro Controller, when you're hitting those 2 buttons, they feel good. They're not popping out of the back of the system. They're level with the back of the system. So they're not what is the word? They're not protruding out of the back of the system. They're on the same level and you click them in. They're more like the buttons on, they kind of feel like the smaller bumper buttons that click, but just a bigger button on the back. So they feel good. And you could program them, right? Adonis, I'll click you in, all right? So they feel good. Can you use a third-party Pro Controller, Living Legend? I don't know the information on that one, dude. I'm assuming.
Can I use my third-party Bluetooth controller?
I'm assuming you can. By the way, guys, thank you. If you guys could put a like on the stream, I appreciate it. Now, as for the new Pro Controllers, there's one aspect that I'm not a huge fan of. If you look at the original, I love this design. I love it. From the different color of the grip to the see-through body, they changed it. It's it feels the same. The D-pad feels a little bit better on the new Pro Controller versus the old one. I'll be honest about that. This one felt sort of like big and chunky. It's usable, obviously, on the Pro Controller, but the new one feels, in my opinion, better than this one. The one downside to this controller is that white top. I don't know why they ruined the design from a visual standpoint. But this, it's white, and I don't like it at all. It just, when you're playing, you look down, there's this like giant white bar on the top of the controller. It sort of throws you off because you see it. It's not the end of the world. It's just paint, but I would have preferred if the new controllers were black. So, good news is you could still use your original Pro Controller on the system. Now, there's also a mic built into it. There's also the C button that they've added to it. Not much past that. It does not match the system, which is what Adonis said in the chat. It doesn't, which is a really odd choice. So that's why my one negative to do with that. But also the negative aspect is it costs too much money. It's way too much money to get a Pro Controller on the Switch too. Speaking of which, come on.
Is the SWTich2 Pro Controller worth at $84 Ust? It looks very similar to the original Switch Pro Controller.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, unless you're going to utilize the 2 buttons on the back and use it for voice chat, it might not be a reason you, like, those are the reasons you buy it. There's no other reason. It's not a major upgrade.
Sorry, I've been making quesadillas for the kids. So happy for you that you got to experience the Switch 2. You are a hero to all of us. Love ya.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the support, Andrew. You goddamn legend. All right, Raw Dakota, thank you. All right, so Banshee asked this.
In your honest opinion, is it going to be worth it? Won't lie. The way they showed stuff combined with game keys have put a bad taste in my mouth.
I guess this is a big question to answer right now. Is the console worth it based on everything that I saw? I'll answer that very last. So ask me that again, Banshee, at the end of the stream. because let me get through the games, because I haven't talked about Donkey Kong. I haven't talked about Metroid in detail. Mario Kart, wow. All right, Woodley said this.
You can dodge jump now by drifting straight, rail grinding, and wall riding. Did you try any of that? You can combo these together to make your own path.
Yeah, you know what? I'll answer that right now, guys. There's one aspect of Mario Kart that's not being talked about, and that is exactly what he just said there. There is a combo system in place in Mario Kart now, and you're going to want to learn them. Yeah, okay. Twiz, thank you, dude. Twiz says this.
Jay, going back to the cyberpunk stuff, I think it was confirmed it was very early code that was running on the demo units at the event.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying take it with a grain of salt, but I'm still going to say this. If you've played Cyberpunk on any other system and you want to replay it on the go, it's the best way to do that. I'm not going to deny that, but I can't recommend it to everybody due to the frame rate I saw. If the frame rate's fixed and it's like a solid 30 frames per second, then yeah, it's a great experience on the go. But to play it in dock mode, go play it on your PC. So, here we go. You ready for this? Here's why Mario Kart World is the best Mario Kart ever. All of the other Mario Kart games up until this point would allow you to do everything he brought up there. So drifting, rail grinding, and wall riding weren't in all the other games, right? But here's where it gets crazy. And I'll give you an example, and I might even have footage of this. Get ready for this, because it's ridiculous. You can now, in Mario Kart, you can do your drifting, which is going to get you a boost. Out of the boost, you can now grind out of a corner, get your boost, then grind on a rail, jump up onto a rail in real time. You could jump between the rails while boosting. Think of like F-Zero for a second. And then on top of it, at the very end, you can wall grind. So we're talking about going from the boost on the ground, the boost on the grinding, the boost on the wall, to the boost in the air, and we're not fucking done yet. We can now perform, here we go, they haven't talked about this, so get ready to hear this for the first time. You can now perform mid-air tricks that are all done with the Joy-Con's motion control system. So if you pull back, you'll do a flip. If you spin your controller, you'll do a barrel roll. And remember, there's a physics engine built into this. So based on how you perform your tricks in the air, will get you even more boosts. So it literally, to me, you guys are going to be like, wow. It feels like they've incorporated like a Tony Hawk game into Mario Kart. And the whole benefit of that is simple, speed. If you can connect these combos with tricks in between them, you will come out of that whole scenario much faster than a racer who just goes around the corner. Do you understand what I'm saying now? I'll explain it one more time just so you guys can get this. Mario Kart's now designed to be played as a combo system. Yes, there's items, and let me just sidetrack for a second here. On the track themselves, you're going to see other cars. So there could be like a Koopling driving a car. And on the back of that car, guys, I don't think we've seen this yet. Maybe we did see that in the direct. But there'll be a Koopa driving, and on the back of his car, he'll have a cannon. You could drive right into the cannon now and just boost over part of the level. That's one example. You can, when you're in open world mode, you can get into the back of a boat and you're not controlling just your cart on the boat. You take over the whole power boat to cross an ocean. Like, I don't want to give away too much, but there's a lot of that stuff in the new Mario Kart. Now, I didn't see it all, but that system that I'm talking about, that combo system I'm talking about, is the innovation in the Mario Kart, and they're really downplaying it. So let me give you an example. I played with 24 players, right? Most players don't realize what's going on in the game when they start playing, like the rail grinding, the wall grinding, the combo system. They don't notice that stuff. So as a hardcore gamer, I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute, like, is this F-Zero? Is this based on F-Zero's design? Absolutely. F-Zero GX, you'd have to fall off the track and land on different parts of the track to be able to hit power boosts. Think of it that way. Mario Kart now is designed for you to be constantly moving, constantly jumping off of tracks, grinding the wall, flying in the air, landing on grinding zones, power boosting, drifting into the next combo system, getting an item, using that item. I used all the new items, by the way. They're fucking amazing. Throwing the hammers ahead of you. You get like a little power meter of how long you could use it. So you get the Koopling brothers hammers, right? So you're throwing the hammers ahead of you. And it feels so heavy. I don't know how, it's animation based. So you throw it and it's like huge, swinging in the air, and everyone's like, holy shit. And it crashes down, takes out a bunch of racers. And the ground like explodes around. It's, yeah, the Hammer Bros. Absolutely insane. I love that power up. There's a power up for the brick, question mark brick. So you hit it, and all of a sudden you hit it, and you're getting more speed. Boom, boom, boom in real time. And you got to hit it in real time, by the way. You got to hit the button to punch it, the power, the question mark block, right? So I'm trying to think of the other ones. So there is the is it called what is it originally called? The leaf. Guys, what's the leaf originally called? I know in Japan it had a different name. The feather, not the leaf, the feather. What's the feather called? The feather? Is that what it's called? The feather. The feather. Wait for this, guys. Oh, Living Legend. Mario Kart World is like...
So, should I keep my MK World code and not sell it?
No, you're keeping it, dude. Because I'll get to it in a second. You're keeping it. Because I'm getting to it. The Cape Feather, yes. So, you get the Cape Feather. The Cape Feather allows you to dodge shells that are coming at you from behind. Now, here's one thing that no one's talked about. Are you ready for this lunacy? You can now spin the camera around you as you're racing with the right analog stick. So this means when there's 24 players on the track, I can push my camera to the right quickly just to look what power-ups people have. Yeah, because the power-ups are now circling all the cars, so you could see it. So there's a free...
Absolutely. Jay got bricked up at the Switch 2 event, confirmed.
Bone Dragon, thanks for the support, dude. I appreciate you. I kind of did. So there's a free camera control in Mario Kart now. This is going to allow you to see what people are doing around you. It's also going to help you with that feather. Using the feather at the right moment makes your cart jump into the air. So if a red shell's coming at you, you jump out of the way. That red shell now will target somebody else. You can also use it to get to higher platforms for the grinding. You can also use it to land on other... This is amazing. You can land on other... carts, and it, like, you'll see them squish down, and it slows them down. and you'll get a power boost. Mario Kart World is like the dream come true, and I'll explain why right now. Mario Kart World with your friends online in free roam mode. I'm going to say this out loud and people are going to lose their minds. Is it Diddy Kong Racing open world feeling? Yes. With your friends online. This means me, Vapist, Zalen, and Juicy Booch can go into a session and go anywhere and do anything we want. We could go to a track. We can practice. We can talk to each other using the chat, of course. But dude, it's like hanging out in Mario Kart. It's it's the best thing I saw at the event. It's the best thing I saw in the event, guys. It's the best thing I've seen ever on Nintendo's devices. You're playing Mario Kart now, but you're not playing it online in the way you're usually playing it. You're playing it like it's Forza Horizon. It's insanity. So you're in an open world that's living and breathing, I should point out. There's tons of things to see. I mean, I'm talking about the tracks themselves. They're all over the place. You can get up to mountains or the top of a track, and you could see in the distance all of the tracks. Well, I wouldn't say it's innovative. I'd say what's innovative is that they've taken the combo system, the open world environment, the community vibe, all of the power-ups, and they've created the best Mario Kart game ever. Digital Foundry says a straight-up system seller. I'm going to say this right now. Mario Kart World, I'll be surprised if it's not the biggest Nintendo game of all time. Like, if Mario Kart World... If Mario Kart World doesn't sell 100 million units, I personally will be surprised. Like, if we get to 150 million units, the last Mario Kart got to 65 million, I swear to God, it's the best Nintendo game I've played in a long time. I think it's the best game since Tears of the Kingdom. You know, Tears of the Kingdom had issues, which they've now fixed for the Switch 2, which is incredible. I give those two Zelda games 10s out of 10 now. This new Mario Kart, I spent an hour and something playing it. Based on what I saw, this small little chunk of the world. I mean, I could go anywhere, but based on what I did, I would say that this Mario Kart brings back the Nintendo magic that you've been missing. It does something to you that will bring you back to the first time playing Mario Kart with your mom or your dad or your little brother. It innovates it in a way that we've never seen Mario Kart. I would not say this, though. I wouldn't say that it's the most innovative Nintendo game of all time. I would say that they've taken all the mechanics that should have been in a Mario Kart game and they put it together in one Mario Kart game. So, in saying that, it is absolutely worth buying at the price it's at. I don't care if that's controversial. In Canada, it's $109 plus tax. That's $127 after tax. I played it for an hour and a half. I will easily play Mario Kart for 300 hours without a question. Easily. No doubt about it. You will jump into the open world, and you will be finding secrets everywhere. It is unbelievably designed. Like, you could tell Nintendo really focused, and they worked on this game because... when you're in the open world, there's secrets everywhere. Like, just, you look to your right, you're like, what is that? You go over to it. There's a cave opening. What's in there? A little circuit. And it's you and your fucking friends going around this circuit. And you're experiencing it for the first time together, and you're talking, and it's in real time. You're like, what is this mysterious cave? You go through it. Dude, it's awesome, man. So, yeah, it's worth it. So there you go. Now, let me answer this big question. So Gothy said, is there a demo for Pokemon? No, unfortunately, they didn't have that there. So I didn't see that. Okay, Living Legend said 1080p is still decent. Yeah, man. A lot of the demos I played were at 1080p. Like I played Metroid Prime at 1080p. It looked amazing. Like it looked like 1080p. You know, there's no denying that, but it still was like really playable. So, yeah, it was amazing to see that because you know, everyone's like 4K blah blah blah. Dude, the system, I haven't even talked about Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, the game, I have a lot to say about it. Twiz, the camera, I'll get to that too. All right, Raymond said this.
How does the C for cash button work?
All right, so the big elephant in the room, the chat. Now, they didn't have a bunch of cameras set up to see the frame rate of the gameplay. I asked about that, and they said, and they confirmed that the frame rate that we saw on the Nintendo Direct is the frame rate we're going to see for gameplay. They did that for a reason. They said that the system's not powerful enough to stream 720 across 4 cameras and do that over the network. They simply couldn't do it. So they on purposely lowered it to, I think, 15 frames per second for gameplay. Now, the good news is this, though. I'll talk about the camera now. You ready for this? Guys, hold on to your butts, because while a lot of people assume the camera is a gimmick, so it is a hardware limit, from my understanding. But is the camera worth getting? That's the question. Is the camera worth getting for Mario Party Jamboree? I'm going to say something right now that's going to be the most controversial thing that I'm going to say all day. Now, take this with a grain of salt. It is essentially, I had the most fun. Are you ready for this? I had the most fun out of the whole event, other than Mario Kart, playing Mario Party Jamboree with the built-in camera controls. It's not a fanboy thing, because I'm not done. Let me finish, okay? Let me finish. Is it worth getting for that one game? Absolutely not. Nope. No chance in hell. Did I have a blast playing it? Absolutely. No question. How did it work? The 4 of us lined up in front of the camera. There was a box on screen for each of us. We had to stand in our boxes. You could see yourself on the screen. The resolution is fucking terrible. So let's get that out of the way. It looks like it's like 720 upscaled. Like, I know it's a 1080p camera, but it's super wide. Super wide. Like, as wide as my camera here. It, like, way wider, actually. Double the what. Dude, I'm at 12 millimeters right here. This is a 12 millimeter lens. It's got to be like wider than this. So it captures the whole like sort of point of view, and each person gets a little square that they have to stand in. Now, here's why I say it's worth it. This is the only reason I say this. And keep in mind, let me finish before you guys shit on me for this. It was an absolute goddamn blast playing on a team all of these mini games in Mario Party. I want you to look at this as an extension of the gameplay from Mario Party for a second, rather than the camera itself. Now, in the original Mario Party, there was a ton of games where you have to turn the controller, hit buttons, movement, all of that stuff is there. Now it's just extra. So you have to like literally punch a brick. It was fun. I'm not going to lie. Like punching the brick and you like, it's fun. I'm not going to die. Now, is it fun to buy for everything? No. Is it fun just for Jamboree? If, and here's the kicker of everything, you have a family. Now, I'm speaking only to the people out there that care about this, because I know the hardcore people are going to make fun of me for saying all this stuff now, but I'm talking to the people that have children right now. Mario Kart Jamboree with the camera, with you, your wife, and your 2 kids, or friends, or whatever, is an absolute fucking blast. I don't care what anyone says. You're going to have a fun time with it. The camera works perfectly to a degree. I mean, it takes a little fiddling with like where you're standing, but once you're in your space and you're locked into that space, it really works. Are you being transparent or are you being biased because Nintendo invited you? That's a tough question for anyone to face. Well, I'm not done answering it. So I'm just talking to the families out there, guys. If there's more games that utilize the camera the way that Jamboree uses it, it's worth buying. Especially if it works the way it worked with Jamboree. It puts you into the game in a way that feels like you're inside the game in a cheesy way. So if you have children that are 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 years old, dude, Mario Party with the camera is now fun. It's a blast to play. I'm not going to lie about it. Now, the other aspect of that camera, I would say, the only other reason you would buy it is if you have a family. If you have a family, it's amazing. It's great. It runs well. It was low light, wide angle lens. It worked amazing in Mario, whatever I'm talking about, Party. So if you have a family, have fun with it, man. You're going to have fun with it. Is it worth the full asking price? Only if you have children and a family. Okay? So that's the answer to that. Now, let me move on to the realistic answer of the camera. Is that camera worth buying if you don't have a family and you just want to chat with your friends online? No. You don't need it. You're going to be on your phone anyways, so just use Discord. The only reason you'd buy that camera outside of Jamboree would be to be able to put your face into Mario Kart, which is fun. It's fun, but it's not like you need it. So you're going to use the camera only if you have a family, okay? So that makes sense, says Omar. Thank you. So at the end of the day, the most fun I had at the whole event, other than Mario Kart, was actually playing Mario Party Jamboree with the camera and 3 other people. I'm sorry to say it. I had a blast doing it. Like, I knew what they were trying to do. It achieved what they're trying to do. It's just silly fun. It's not the best thing you've ever done, but it's better than, I'd say, Connect. So, at the end of the day, do you buy the camera? I would say only if you have a family and only if you love Mario Party. At this point in time, I would not buy the camera if you're just going to be playing Mario Kart. I would also, this is a tough one. Do you want to upgrade to online? Yes, that's not really a tough one. The reason why you want to get, Nintendo Online is because you get the free upgrades for the Zelda games, plus all the other crap. But you're going to need it for Mario Kart. No, listen. Was Metroid Prime 4 fun? It was as good as the last game. It was as good as the remake. But I'm just being honest. There wasn't anything I saw there that was above and beyond. It felt like a continuation of the amazing gameplay, which is amazing. But I'm not going to lie to you guys and be like, Metroid Prime 4 is going to blow your fucking minds. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done. It's as good as Metroid Prime Remaster. I didn't play a lot of it. Keep that in mind. Grain of salt. The boss battle I played was fucking amazing. Challenging, rewarding. Next generation, in terms of like mechanics, I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's like the remake of Prime, continued, graphically slightly better. Some of the vistas look really good in it. The mouse controls work 100% right. There's no issue with that. They work on your pant leg, so if you want to play sitting down with your leg, it works that way. So you don't have to have a desk in front of you. You can play on the side of your couch. As long as it's like a flat surface, the Joy-Con will move. And guys, pinpoint accuracy with adjustable controls. So, Metroid Prime, from what I saw, left me super hyped, but it left me wanting much more, which I saw in the game. But what I mean by that is, like, I can't wait to fucking play it on my own. It's Metroid Prime 4, based on what I've saw and played, is it's like on another level. Now let me say this, not on another level of Metroid Prime, but on another level of first-person shooter from Nintendo. You have never seen Nintendo do a first-person shooter quite like this, ever. Now, is it innovative? No, it's just a mouse. But when you combine the mouse with Metroid Prime, with the lore, the environments, the sound effects, the voice acting, the boss battles, you've got a surefire hit. So anybody that was worried about Metroid Prime 4, it's fucking awesome. So let's get that out of the way. I don't want to downsell it, but I'm not overselling it, okay? It's not like... It's not a generational leap, okay? Don't look at it as a generational leap. It is not a leap. It's a step. It's not a leap, okay? Don't overhype yourself. It's still fucking amazing, but it's not like you're going to be, oh my God, like it's not visually stunning, okay? It's impressive for a Switch 2, but it's not going to make you lose your mind, okay? Now, I didn't play it at 120 in handheld mode. So let me just say this. Playing that game at 120 in handheld mode is going to be fucking bonkers. So that's where the selling point is, okay? So there you go. I'm being realistic here. I don't want to overhype. I got to talk about Donkey Kong, okay? But listen, am I overhyping Mario Kart? Nope. Is it a generational leap? Yep. You know why? That open world. That open world aspect to Mario Kart gives us something that we've never seen from Mario Kart. So get hyped for Mario Kart. Like, get really hyped. When you sit down and play it for the first time, you're going to be a kid again. Turbo, thank you, dude. I'll get to you in a sec, Turbo. Let me get through this. So, the voice chat, all of that stuff. If you have the online, you're going to get it anyways. So, because the Pro Controller and the system has a microphone built into it, listen, if you just want to play with your friends online, it's perfect. It's fine for that. When it comes to the camera, no. Do not buy the camera just so you can have your video chats with your friends on the Switch. That's absurd. Do not do that. Pointless. Don't do it. If you want to play with your family, Mario Kart Jamboree, the upgrade enhanced version, totally worth it then. Because you and your family, you'll play that once in a while. It's not like, I don't think it'll be like a one-time thing. The mini games I played were a lot of fun. So it throws a different challenge. It's not like you're going to use it the whole time. But again, for a family experience, for a 14-year-old kid, man, to play it like that, it's worth it, man. But outside of that, I'd say no. I wouldn't get the camera unless you're like a diehard Nintendo fan. Now, Biff, thank you. Living Legend asked this.
Jay, do the bezels look better in person?
Yeah. Bezels. Okay, so the whole screen, man. Oh, yeah. DD Stuff says, I heard a rumor that any 1080p USB-C camera will work with the Switch 2. Yep. Guys, I got good news for you. You ready? Basically, from my understanding, and when I asked them, any USB-C camera will work with your Switch. Hey, Julie, how are you? So, you don't even have to go out there and spend more money if you have a webcam that's USB-C. Just plug it in, it'll work. Okay, so Living Legend asked about the bezels. Yes, I'll get to that right now. The screen on the Nintendo Switch 2 is gorgeous. The only thing I will say about it in a negative light, if you can even say it's a negative, because it's not OLED, is the blacks are not as inky. They're not as dark as you're used to on an OLED screen. However, it is HDR. It looks way better than the original Switch. So anybody that was upset that it's not OLED, it's so close to that most people won't even notice. You could put it in front of somebody and say, "Hey, this is OLED, right?" "Yeah, sure it is." No one's going to notice unless you're like a lunatic like me that works in color grading. I could notice subtly that the blacks were not black, like inky black. They were a little bit above that. So other than that, the screen is unbelievable. Perfect, man. And then when the OLED version comes out, that screen's going to be lunacy. So don't worry about the screen. So yeah, the bezels and everything, they look great on the system. It's a giant screen, man. It's like really big in your face. Like, guys, listen to this. Legend of Zelda on that screen, upscaled with all of the enhancements on top of it. It is like, guys, it's like playing a new game to a degree because of the performance issues are gone. Mega Man says, "Did you play Metroid? How was mouse mode?" I answered that basically. I'll go over it again. I haven't talked about Donkey Kong. Get ready for that. So Metroid is a must-own. There's no doubt about it. Metroid Prime 4 is a must-own for the system. Mouse mode works really well. It's going to take you a couple of minutes to get used to holding it as a mouse and also switching between the different gameplay control input designs. It gets confusing because like you're holding a Joy-Con here and here, but you've got one on the table and you got one in your hand, and you keep wanting to control Samus with the right analog stick, but you realize you don't need to do that. You just move it. So it's a little confusing because you're used to that, right? Now, one other thing I'll say, one other negative is like during boss battles, when you have it flat on the table, for me personally, it was hard to hit the X button. So the X button would turn it into a sphere. During the boss battle, the boss would throw things at you, this sort of force field that you had to turn into the sphere to duck and then come back out of it. Now, in real time, difficult to do because you have to reach your thumb back and hit that X button. Now, here's the deal, though. You can customize the controls any way you want, so you can move the buttons around. The right Joy-Con in your hand in mouse mode, the trigger itself is to shoot her cannon, and the smaller bumper is to shoot her missiles. I'll say this. The angle, slightly weird. So hitting that button, it's going to take a little getting used to. So basically, it's like playing Metroid on PC at high spec. I mean, sorry, at medium spec on a PC. I wouldn't say the game looks like it's like an ultra. Living Legend, thank you. He said this. Is it more fun than Doom?
Jay, can I use my third-party Bluetooth controller?
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say there should be no issue with that, Living Legend. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate the support. Living Legend said, should I keep my Mortal Kombat, my Mario Kart World, or sell it? Dude, Mario Kart World is a must-own. Bone Dragon, thank you, dude. And Turbo Express said this.
I'm glad you have fun playing the Switch 2. Sadly, I wasn't chosen to play the system in LA. I had enter with my nephew, but I can't play to play soon.
Yeah, Turbo. Dude, hang on a second, guys. All right. Turbo, it sucks you didn't get there. Okay, so thank you so much, Turbo, for the support. I appreciate you. Guys, now, that's all the super chats. I went through all of them. I haven't talked about a lot of the stuff yet. Donkey Kong being one of them. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. Thank you so much for the support, by the way. Turbo says I'll cancel the camera then. That's up to you. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a family for Jamboree. If you have it, you're going to have a blast with your family. Your kids are going to lose their minds. They're going to love it. Steve says, what's the sound quality of the Switch 2? Dude, louder. I'll just say that. Louder, louder. Louder than an OLED. Sounds awesome. So no issue with the Switch 2. The speaker system in that sounds really good. There's no issue with that at all. How'd the touchscreen feel? Same as the last. I mean, I didn't get to interact with the actual UI that much. The touchscreen is just as good as the last one. It's much bigger, so we're talking about more real estate, so things aren't as squished together in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. So when you're on that touchscreen, dude, it's great. It's great. UI. I didn't experience the UI at all. They kept that locked away, so I can't talk about the UI. I've seen the UI, but I didn't get to touch it. All right, so ask your questions now. How about the new Pro Controller? The new Pro Controller feels basically identical to this Pro Controller. I wouldn't say that there's a major difference. Maybe the buttons feel a little bit better up here. The D-pad also feels slightly better. This one's like big and chunky. I know some people like big and chunky. But is it worth getting? At some point. Steve says, did you see the online shop? Unfortunately, I didn't get any UI time with the system. All right. Glory said, did you ask about charging the Switch in both ports? Did they prevent that? So, from my understanding, you should be able to charge in both ports. There should be no issue with that. The reason they did that is because when you have it in tabletop mode, you could plug into the top of the system to keep it charged. Now, let me just say this, and this is a theory. This is not based on fact. This is based on my opinion and my input on what I saw with the system. The system has two USB inputs now. One on the bottom for when you dock it or you want to charge it in handheld mode, and one on the top, right? The camera itself can be plugged into the top in tabletop mode. So you can actually play 4-player Mario. This is crazy, guys. You can play 4-player Mario. Yeah, it's crazy. Mario Party at the park with the camera. So if you got friends at school and you're 14 years old, it's crazy. That's awesome for the kids, man. So the top does take power, I believe. So you should be able to charge it from the bottom or the top. I don't know about it at the exact same time, Glory. I'm assuming it will fast charge if you do that. I know that my iPad Pro does stuff like that, so it should be able to do that. Wood, thank you. I appreciate you, dude. All right. So,
absolutely listen, get over here and charge my port.
If you guys could put a like on the stream. By the way, shout out to everybody out there. We're at 18 members, trying to get 50 this stream. Thank you for the support, guys. We're at like I think we're at 828 members overall total. So thank you very much for supporting the show. If you want to support me, the best way to do it is gifted memberships, guys. Thank you very much.
Jay was happy and vague at the event. Any of the ones.
Yeah, so in terms of Happy Console Gamer and Victor Lucas, they were at the event. I don't think you guys realize that. I don't talk about this, but like let me just say this once on the stream, and I won't really, because I don't do it for clout or anything, but like Happy Console Gamer and me, like Happy Console Gamer is like one of my best friends in my life. I talk to him every single day for hours, basically. So I just want to put that out there so you guys are aware of that situation. Happy Console Gamer and I are like best friends. You know, he's got lots of friends, but like I don't. He's one of my best friends. He'd say the same about me. We've known each other for 10 plus years, I think now. We talk every single day. That's why I went to his house to stay with him and that stuff. So let's just get that out of the way for the future. Victor Lucas and myself are, we've been friends now in real life for 10 plus years as well. So I was lucky enough to be able to run into those lunatics outside of the event before I went in. So it was awesome. I got to see John and Vic for like, I'd say like a good 5 seconds. By the way, I'm taller than both of them. Keep coming. Anyways, guys, until next time. Now, I also want to shout out Nintendo for this. Nintendo messaged me today and said, well, I don't know if I should say what they actually said. You know, I'll say it. Not Nintendo, but the people that represent Nintendo said, Jay, we got a badass photo for you. There's a professional photographer. Now, I took a bunch of photos as well, which I'll be sharing in the video I upload. But, dude, this is an official Nintendo photo that I'm in. Check out this photo. I look so badass. It's like the best photo I've ever had. I look so serious, too. But look at this. That is... Thank you, Nintendo, for sending me that, by the way. That's some serious journalism right there. And then they also sent me this one. So apparently these photos might be on the website or something at Nintendo. I don't know, but that's what I looked at. I wore my jacket out there, represent, you know, Resident Evil 2, one of my favorite games. Professional quality. Now, I also have like my own. I took my own photos, but you know, it was hard to take photos of
Thanks
myself.
for sharing, Jay. We all need a village.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, so guys, I've got tons of photos and video to share. We ran into like one of the guys working at the booth. He had this incredible Legend of Zelda tattoo. I'll show it off here for a second. Look at that. It's like badass. And then I've got lots of photos of me like using it as mouse mode and stuff like that of that nature. So I got a lot to show in the video still. Imagine seeing you on CP24. Well, I've been on there a few times. All right, so. No, Nate, it's 38 to go to the goal. No more dick pics? Well, I probably have a few on that phone. Ugh. All right, Mailsman Son, thank you, dude. Appreciate the support. So I still have to talk about all of my experiences with third-party games and Donkey Kong Bonanza. So what do you want me to talk about next? Do you guys got questions or you want me to just go into Donkey Kong? Let me know in the chat. I appreciate the support. By the way, thank you for the gifted memberships again. DK. All right, you ready? I'm going to be truthful on this one. I'm not going to hold back any punches, literally. The new Donkey Kong Bonanza is it worth a pre-order? Let me get to everything here. Hang on. Yeah, because you guys don't know if I like it or not at this point. You guys are a little worried, aren't you? Okay, here we go. Donkey Kong Bonanza has an issue. A very big issue. And that is, well, I can explain it to you. First and foremost, is it a platformer? Yes. It's absolutely a platformer. Is it the platformer you guys wanted? I'd say based on what I played, I don't know, but I don't know that answer. The frame rate, solid, had some issues. Had some issues here and there, okay? That's not the end of the world, though. You know, slight hiccups. But it's a demo, so take that with a grain of salt. Here's the major issue with Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'll hold up this controller and pretend I'm playing. So the A button is to jump. That makes Donkey Kong jump in the air. The top button makes him punch above him. The Y button makes you punch in front of you. And the B button makes you punch under you. Think of it like a classic arcade game, okay? Here's the issue. There's so much fucking breaking rocks in this game that within 5 minutes of playing this game, I couldn't push the button anymore. Like, it's not subtle. We're talking about a game that's literally only about breaking rocks and finding collectibles and jumping and exploring and all that stuff. Let me get to it. The goddamn amount of button pressing in this controller, and get this, there's no auto button. If there is, it'll save the game. If there's no auto button implemented into Donkey Kong Bonanza, I swear to God, within 5 minutes, you are going to not want to play it. Because you're going to be so sick of pushing those goddamn buttons to break the world, because it's mostly destructible environments, that you're going to not want to keep playing it. In your head, you're going to say, oh God, really? Really? I got to keep, oh my God. Guys, I'm not kidding. It's like this. And not for 5 minutes, the whole time. You're going like this. Oh my God. Oh, I'm up. And then on top of it, it is almost impossible at times to see what the hell you're doing. The camera is not great. It's very repetitive, the demo. They wouldn't let me go into any of the missions where there's like boss battles or anything of that. So based on what I played, just on that, am I excited to play Donkey Kong still? Not exactly. It is so repetitive. The demo either is a very poor representation of the full game, or the game is just not going to be what you thought it was. You can't hold the button to keep punching. So that's the one game, guys, I'm just being honest, that didn't sell me completely. Let me also say, okay, so let me talk about it open here in terms of just like where that's the first thing I said to the Nintendo rep. I'm like, I hope there's a turbo button, because I can't do it. I can't do it. I just won't play this game. I just won't do it. I can't do it. We're talking about the whole level. I'd say 80% of the level is destructible. So I'm unfortunately bringing you slightly bad news with this. It needs a little bit
Is
of work.
Nintendo aware that DSP's pre-order was cancelled? He did nothing wrong. He did everything correct.
Sure, deported Sicilian. Thank you for the support. Fuck DSP. I don't care.
Congratulations.
All right, so Donkey Kong Bonanza, is it fun? The demo does not represent the game. Okay? The demo does not represent the game. The game itself was simple. It said, all you need to do, guys, is collect bananas. Find bananas. So, did I have fun looking for bananas in Donkey Kong? There was an aspect that I didn't like, and that would be because the level design is destructible, you can be lazy. There's a challenge, but it's not what you think. The challenge is trying to find the fucking bananas. The challenge is that. That's it. The challenge is pushing yourself long enough in the game to find the bananas. Because the ground that you're standing on, all of it to a certain degree can be smashed apart. And because you're smashing it constantly, you're so sick of doing that once you clear one of the levels completely out, there's absolutely no reason to ever go back to that area unless Nintendo does something good and repopulates the level with something new. Other than that, like, I'm not going to score any of these games because I played it for like I think of 25 minutes, and then I watched it for 25 minutes. It's an average okay Nintendo game. It's not Mario Odyssey, okay? It's not the platforming you know and love from Mario Odyssey brought over to a Donkey Kong game. So let's get that out of the way. It's more, basically it's a chore of a collection game where in this demo, nothing really paid off. I was like, this is it? Like, at one point, I swear to God, I was holding it like this, and at one point, I turned my hand and just played like this, and just moved Donkey Kong while I was standing there. Because, like, I couldn't physically push with my thumb anymore. Now, let's keep in mind, there's a lot to talk about with Donkey Kong, okay? Any game that you play shouldn't feel like a chore. I'll stand by that from the beginning of my career to the end. If you're playing a video game and it feels like you personally are playing it and it's a chore to play, and there's no real reward, here's the kicker though. Is it rewarding? If you are a diehard,
You are my baby daddy.
if you're a diehard Nintendo fan that absolutely loves collecting and platforming to a degree, you're going to love the game. You're going to love it because there's so much to collect, so much to bash apart. It's fun in that regard, but I'm just not sold on Donkey Kong. Am I sold on Mario Kart? 10 out of 10. Mario Kart's unreal. Is the hype there for Metroid Prime? Yeah, it's not like 10 out of 10 for me. Because it felt like just another Metroid Prime, to be honest with you guys, which is an amazing thing. I'm not saying that it's that's a bad thing, but it just sort of, it just feels like another Metroid
missed
Prime.
it. But did you play WW compared to HD?
Yes, I did. All right, so I hate to say this. Playing Wind Waker on the Wii U in HD is the best place to ever play it now. It's that simple. Playing Wind Waker on the Switch 2 is like playing the original version of the game that has slightly improved visuals, but nothing too ridiculous. So in saying that, for the people who just want to experience the original game with no issues, with no developer hands in it, Wind Waker is amazing. It's going to be amazing to play. But the Wii U version is the best version by far. HD, widescreen, it's incredible. So, no. Comparing it to the HD version, no. No. Mailsman, I can't answer that question.
Wind Waker emulator versus Switch 2.
Unfortunately, I'm just being open with you guys. I have a very good working relationship with Nintendo at the moment. So, I'm not going to be comparing anything like illegal. You guys know me. I'd never lie to you guys, but I unfortunately can't talk about emulation during this video or like the differences on where it's better to play and that stuff. I can only talk about what I saw at the event. So thank you, Mailsman Son. So that's just the way it works. So Wind Waker, on the Switch 2 it's like playing Wind Waker. It's not going to blow your mind. It's like playing an old school version of Wind Waker, slightly updated graphics. I mean, it's I guess it's like upscaled or something of that nature. Nintendo's using an emulator, I'm assuming, to emulate that game on the Switch 2. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I do know that they're using emulation to play all Switch 1 games, so there's a layer above the Switch 2 that's going to basically funnel Switch 1 games down to the architecture of the Switch 2. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. So, yeah, there's an emulation layer that emulates all the original games. Now, I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't think The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom are being emulated. I think that they are ported to Switch 2 architecture, not emulation. I could be wrong about that, but either way, it doesn't matter because they run incredible. Oh, F-Zero.
Jay, did you play F-Zero on GameCube Emu on S2? The European version is PAL 50 FPS Nintendo Life said so. Hopefully not gets the NTFS 60 FPS version for us.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to play F-Zero GX. I do know though how well it runs, and it looks amazing. So yeah, I would just say that, like, if you're excited about F-Zero, the online modes, being able to play that online, download Ghost data, that's amazing. All of that stuff. By the way, let me go back to Mario Kart. Guys, Mario Kart is about challenge. So if you're online with your friends, you could watch them do challenges, like time challenges, and then you could compete in real time. Like, it's a true open world environment when you're playing with your friends. It's like really, really, really fun. Most fun I've ever had with Mario Kart. So, let me get back to Donkey Kong here. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Listen, you know how Nintendo always has gimmicks. It's like certain gimmicks, right? Mario Odyssey was Hattie, the hat, or whatever the hell. What was Cappy? You know, that was the gimmick, right? Mario Sunshine was the funnel system. What was the name of the funnel in his backpack? Funnel. What was it named? I totally forget his name. Flood. Yeah, Flood. Flood. So you get the idea, right? All of these games have like sort of a gimmick. Mario Kart World, open world, that's a gimmick. Play with your friends online. I'll say this. Donkey Kong Country. I wish it was Donkey Kong Country in 3D. But no, it isn't. Donkey Kong Bonanza, its gimmick is destructible worlds, right? Now, how far can you take that? Based on what I saw, pretty far, but the demo really like restricted me from seeing any of the gimmicks, other than breaking the level apart. You know, it's like one crazy thing is this, like once you destroy the level and you're standing there looking at it, it's all gone and you've collected everything. You're just standing. It's like Minecraft. If you go in Minecraft and you destroy a village, you just stand there and look at it. It's gone now. In this game, it all comes back when you reload. So it's like, what are they going to do that's unique about this? Like, if I destroy one of the levels, why am I going back in time? Like, I didn't experience that. Like, why am I going to go back and replay a level in this? Collectibles? Yeah, that's it for sure. But let me also go back to the point where, dude, hitting that button nonstop is not fun. It's not fun. I'm sorry. So the whole game's based on that. You know? And then I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for the platforming. I didn't experience really any platforming in the demo. Like, you can obviously jump and crash down and hold. You could do all this amazing stuff, but like, you're doing it just to destroy the level. There's like a few enemies that come out, but they don't do much. And I'm like, oh man, this is not what I thought it would be. Like, I was hoping for like a Mario Odyssey gameplay type. It's definitely has the roots in Mario Odyssey, but they're like, either they're holding back a lot and we haven't seen it, which could be the case. But I'm just going to say this for now. don't get too excited about Donkey Kong yet, because I don't know what it is. I still don't know. And I played it for half an hour and watched people play it for like half an hour. To me, it's like Nintendo's like, what if we took Minecraft, the premise of like destroying a level, and just hid items in the world? Okay. That gets old so quick by hitting stuff. It's just, it's not fun. It's a chore. So I don't know, man. And I talked to everyone else and they were like, yeah, that's a bit weird. So at this point in time, I would hold off on like the skepticism of the game. Like, is it going to be terrible? I doubt it. I think it probably still has the Mario, the Mario Odyssey platforming built into it at some point. Because you can climb up this side of like a mountain as you would assume you can. But I'm going to say this. Here we go. And then I'll move on to the third-party games, because I haven't even talked about the third-party games. I kind of did, but Cyberpunk and Harry Potter and I don't know, Street Fighter, and there's a whole bunch of them. So let me say this, okay? Is this system worth getting just for Mario Kart? If you're a diehard Nintendo fan at that price point, I'm going to, you guys are going to call me a fanboy, but yeah, it is. It's that good. Mario Kart open world is that fucking good. You have to play it. It's that simple. If you don't have it, you're missing out. It's a system seller. It's the best Mario Kart ever made. I can say that with confidence. If you're not interested in Mario Kart, is it worth buying for Metroid Prime 4? Only if you've played the past games. I wouldn't say getting into Mario Part 4 is going to blow your mind, but the continuation of the story, totally worth it. So, do you buy the system just for Mario Kart? Abso-fucking-lutely. It is incredible. Totally worth it. Do you buy it just for Metroid Prime? I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is a system seller in the way that you would assume it is. Do you buy the system for Donkey Kong Bonanza? No. Not what's at all. Do you buy this system, the new system, for any of the third-party games? And here we go. I'm going to probably get a lot of you upset here, but no. At this point in time, the only thing on the system that is worth buying the whole package for on launch day is Mario Kart World, and trust me, it is worth that. You will be playing it for hundreds of hours if you're a Mario Kart fan. So, if you're a hardcore Metroid fan, absolutely it's worth it. But if you're a casual gamer who's like, I'm just getting into first-person shooters, I've never played it, no. Nope. Do not go out there and buy a Switch 2 just for that game. Sour Balls with the gifted. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for that, dude. We're now at 19 Sour Balls. I love you. You know that. So here we go. Ready? Let's get into the third-party support of the Switch 2. All the games I played. I'll go through each of them, everything I saw. So this is going to take a while. So I appreciate you guys watching still. Thank you for the support. Oh, man, I'm getting winded here. Did I see Hyrule Warriors? No, unfortunately, it wasn't there. I might have missed a few games, to be honest with you. I didn't even go to one section because there was too much to play. And then, I'm going to say a bit of a controversial point at the end here. Nintendo essentially limited you to playing 6 games. I played my 6 games, and then they just said I could only watch the rest of the event. And I was like, but I'm media, and like there's 20 spaces available. And they said, no, sorry, unfortunately, you can't. So I played 9 games total, and there was like 5 more. I don't know why they said no, but they said no. Even though they invited me 2 hours away. I'm not being controversial here, but I find it to be a little funny. The Nintendo Mafia even showed up in real life. Hey, come play all of these games. You get there. You can play 6. And then you basically can leave. Like, okay. All right, so here we go. I'll go through it again. Mario Kart, must own, graphically, draw distance-wise, to the horizon. You may look at it and say, yeah, it looks a little... Graphically, it doesn't look like it's... No, guys. When there's 24 people racing, 0 frame rate issues, 60 frames per second, 24 people, full animations, unbelievable. It's amazing to see. I love it.
Switching gears from Nintendo Play Mandragora.
Dude, what is that, Living Legend? Oh, yeah, you told me about that. Thank you for the support, dude. We're now at 20. Dino, thank you, dude.
Boss.
Thank you, man. So, Dino, I appreciate the support, dude. Thank you, man. For the gifted membership, we're now at 30 away from the goal. Thank you for supporting my streams, guys. So here's the deal. Mario Kart must own, incredible. No, I didn't see Kirby. So the way the event worked, you go in these doors, and there's like a lineup of like 40 Switch 2s on each side with like incredible 4K 60 screens. 40 on each side. So you go in, you all play Mario Kart. Not 40, I'd say maybe... I could probably count in a photo, but at least like 15 on each side. And at each display is a person standing there. And I was like, whoa. Dude, this event costs a lot of money. Then you go through another gate, and there's another 15 on each side. And you play more Mario Kart. Then you go through another gate, and there's another 15 on each side, and you play Donkey Kong. Then you go through another gate. And it's like, holy shit. Big difference between 15 and 40. Yeah, I know. I'm being... Yeah. So, I'm not going to say what Johnny said. You can watch his video on Sunday. All right, so Mario Kart's a must-own. No doubt about it. Donkey Kong Country. I wish it was a Donkey Kong open-world game, man. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's got the Nintendo magic to a degree. But like I can't push that button for the whole time. I can't do it. So fix that or do something about it, and we'll see. Metroid Prime, incredible experience if you're a fan of the series. If you're just walking into it and going like, "What is this?" You're gonna be a little confused, I think. The mouse is incredible. No issues with that whatsoever. All right, so let me talk about Donkey Kong a little bit more here. Graphically, I want you to take Mario Odyssey, bump it up a little bit. Add a little bit more to the world, a little bit more atmosphere, a little bit more texture. That's what you're getting out of Donkey Kong Bonanza. Here's the kicker, though. Donkey Kong himself, it's not controversial to say this, is the most animated character we've ever seen from Nintendo, period. It's like a Pixar movie. I wouldn't say it's like rendered at a Pixar movie. It's very close to something you might see on the movie screen. But like his hair is not amazing, okay? I'm be honest with you. Like you can see it's like choppy and digital and moving, and it's got a little bit of weirdness to it. It doesn't look spectacular like you would assume it would. Now, his facial animations are fucking insane. Like, that should win an award just for his eyes. Like, his eyes alone, his mouth. You pause the game, he's got a different expression on his face every single time. Now, the world design, Mario Odyssey. The graphics, Mario Odyssey, upscaled. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say it's like, whoa. I'd say it's like, okay, I get it. Let's have some fun. Level design, getting back to that. The problem with the game, I feel, is that you can destroy the level. Once you've done that as a kid or an adult, I just can't think of why you'd go back. So hopefully Nintendo has a reason why you'd backtrack in those games. Probably something to do with the collectibles. Every time, here's the other thing. Finding a banana in the levels wasn't rewarding. Ratboy, what's up? I mean, you would like... Here's something I should point out. In Donkey Kong Bonanza, when you dig into the ground, guys, you can kind of see the outline of like where there are artifacts or hallways or like caves underground. It'll be sort of like a shadow that you see. It's hard to explain, but yeah, you can kind of see where to look, you know? Or to dig, I should say.
How does Donkey Kong's booty hole look in the game?
Keep coming!
Congratulations.
Donkey Kong looks amazing. His fur animation is a little weird. He's hairy, but yeah, like it looks like overall looks great, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It just doesn't look spectacular, okay? Now, like I said, when you dig down, there's a lot of cool things you could do. Now, here's the thing though. I don't know if you can like upgrade Donkey Kong over time to be able to do new moves or abilities. From what I played, you could pick up a rock and you could stand on the rock and ride it like a skateboard. And you could use it also to jam into the ground and dig deeper rather than use his paws. You could also swing the rocks up in front of you and down, which would take out a larger mass of the level. Now, the rock in your hand will deplete over time as you're swinging it. So the more you use it, the less it's going to be. Yes, I played Zelda. I'll talk about that next. So, getting the bananas in Donkey Kong, you just go, oh. Now, last thing I'll talk about Donkey Kong. When you're deep in a hole...
Keep coming!
When you're deep in a hole in Donkey Kong, that sounds great. When you're deep in Donkey Kong's hole, the camera needs some work. I mean, there's a lot of times where I couldn't see what I was doing. I'd just be mashing the button and you would just see rocks and shit going flying. You have no idea what you're doing. Just shit's going everywhere. So they need to do something about that. I mean, it just at times was not fun. It was more of a chore. All right, so do you get Donkey Kong on day one? Wait for reviews. Wait for the reviews, or if we see more of the gameplay. Mario Kart's a must-own. In my opinion, I will put Metroid Prime 4 on the list of must-own if you get the system. Are there any other must-own games I saw at the event? Yep. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. If you're a Zelda fan, you have to own them. You have to experience them this way. If you're a hardcore fan. If you're a casual gamer, you've never played them, you have to own the Switch 2 versions. They're 4K 60 upscaled or whatever they do in the back end. They look incredible. 0 frame rate issues. For $80, yes, if you've never played a Zelda game, Breath of the Wild absolutely is worth buying on the Switch 2. I don't care if it's an 8-year-old game. Absolutely worth playing. One of the best games ever made. Tears of the Kingdom, one of the best games ever made. And on top of it, creating all of that stuff is amazing. You know, so people are saying not for $80. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are worth that money. Let's get real.
Getting DK Day 1, but I'm a little biased. DK is my favorite Nintendo character, so I'm rooting for it for GOTY.
Yeah, listen. By the way, guys, if you own the original versions of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom and you have an online subscription to Nintendo service online, you get those. So Will does bring up a good point. Says, nope, sorry, DLC not included with the old games for full price is not acceptable. You know, I wasn't thinking about that. Let me backtrack on that statement. How can I explain this? If you can get your hands on Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom for the original Switch and then just pay the upgrade fee and get them used for like 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, or whatever that you could get off your friends, 40 bucks. That's the way you do it. I totally forgot about that, so I apologize. The DLC is not included with the Switch 2 versions of the games. So let me retract my statement on that. I totally forgot and I apologize. Do not support that nonsense. That should be in there. So, sorry. Now, Tears of the Kingdom, of course, never got any DLC. So let me reiterate that again. Jesus Christ. Tears of the Kingdom is worth the full asking price for the Switch 2 copy. I don't care what anyone says. So that's my statement on that. Breath of the Wild is not. It doesn't have the DLC, which should be included in the Ultimate Enhanced version. So let me backtrack there. I may be a Nintendo fanboy, but I work for you guys, not Nintendo. Do not buy Breath of the Wild day one that way. If you're going to buy it for the Switch 1 used, save your money, buy the DLC on top of that, and then just get the online mode because you're going to need it for Mario Kart anyways. And because you're going to get Mario Kart with the bundle, most of you, you're going to be able to get that enhanced version for free. So there you go. Get the online mode, get the enhanced versions free, play them, and then play Mario Kart. There you go. Do not flat out buy the enhanced version of Breath of the Wild. Not worth it. Don't do that. Tears of the Kingdom, though, there's so much content in that game. I'll be controversial right now and say that it's worth more than $80 if they wanted. Running at 4K 60 with that much content, dude, it's worth it. No one can deny that. And there's no DLC. All right. Let me move on to Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 runs like a dream, looks like a Steam Deck, but a bit better. That's it. There's not much to say about that. I played it with the Pro Controller 2. In all, intensive purposes, I sense it being super snappy. Like I'm talking about being like 1-to-1, like no delay, which is super important for people that want to play Street Fighter 6. It ran like a dream. Zero hiccups. Now, graphically, looked like a Steam Deck. It looked a little bit better than a Steam Deck, to be honest with you. So, Capcom made the right choice here. They took the graphics, they down-tuned them a little bit. So what I'm talking about is you're going to see essentially, I would say it looks like you're playing it on PC in low settings, but a bit higher. So what you're going to get is a lot of like anti-aliasing on some of the textures up close on the sides of the characters. It does look like a portable version of the game to a degree, but it looks slightly better than that. It's not as bad as a Steam Deck. Now, I think Steam Deck is an amazing device, but like AAA games barely can run on that to a certain degree. Like you can get away with playing Elden Ring on it, but it's like frame rate issues, and we're playing on like low settings. I'll say this. The Switch 2 can play those games now above low settings. Not high or ultra. No, we're not going up there, guys. So I hate to break the bubble here and say this right now. The Switch 2 in handheld mode and even in dock mode is like playing an enhanced version of the Steam Deck. It's more powerful than the Steam Deck, but it's based on the games, okay? That's what you're going to get out of it.
Listen, my J1ZZ, shop with zero latency and big range.
Congratulations.
So, it's better than a Steam Deck by far, in my opinion, for a lot of the graphics I saw. I mean, Mario Kart alone is doing things that I don't think the Steam Deck could do. And we're talking about how much is going on screen. Steam Deck is old now. So I feel like if you put this on a timeline where the Switch 2 is, I think the Switch 2's at the head of the pack. But I also feel like Steam Deck 2, ROG 2, Legion Go 2 are going to surpass the Switch 2 within 2 years. No doubt. Is that important for a lot of people? Maybe. Not for the casual, not even for some hardcore. So, what I'm getting at is this. If you put like Helldivers 2 on the Switch 2, dude, it would run way better than the Steam Deck version. We're talking about the draw distance, the anti-aliasing, and all the technology in that. You know, I think it does a lot better than a lot of the competition right away. Nintendo games will never look better than this anywhere else.
Can I show my hole with the new camera?
Congratulations. Generic white male. I have a feeling you probably can. I asked Nintendo reps about that. I was like, is there any like parental tools in place? So, you know, like, and they said yes. So I got news for you guys. In Mario Kart, oh, I just thought of a way you could trick the system. Oh, no. I was like, what if you want to just use your asshole as your avatar in Mario Kart using the camera? Unfortunately, the camera has to detect a face. So 2 eyeballs, a mouth, and a nose. It looks for that, right? Now, it's going to be interesting to see if you can actually, like, if you could put a photo of 2 eyes and a mouth on your asshole and then stand there. Now, who knows if you could trick the camera to do that, but at this point in time, you need to put a face in camera. But yeah, I just opened Pandora's box. Sorry, Nintendo, but I'm curious because if I had kids, we're now dealing with like video. And I'm just being open with you guys. If I had a 5-year-old kid or a 7-year-old girl, and like dudes are putting their fucking dicks in the camera, Nintendo needs to handle that right away. That better not be an issue. Now, based on what I know, parental wise, it's very hard to do, they said. Like, you can't just do that. You can't just stand up and do it. That it won't essentially show that to anybody else. Like, I could do it right now and show you that, but it's not going to project that to anybody else. And also, in Mario Kart and in Jamboree, if you move off camera or you move the camera, it auto shuts it off. Like it's going to be able to detect, like there's no face in the camera, so don't show it, right? That's my take on this because I know a lot of you have kids. So yeah, there you go. It's going to be interesting to see how Nintendo deals with that, but I don't know, man. I don't think we're going to have issues with it, thankfully. Who knows? Now, Street Fighter 6 was awesome. Like, is it the best looking version? No, of course it's not. But does it play like Street Fighter? Does it have everything Street Fighter has? Absolutely. Now, let's talk about loading times, because nobody asked me about that yet. Are you ready for this nonsense? Here's a big selling point that no one's talked about yet. Inside of Mario Kart World, when you're waiting for a race, you're just in open world mode. There's no more loading. There's loading times, but you don't see them. So you're in open world mode. You go up to, say, you know, that the Grand Prix mode where you go through the tracks, and if you're at the end of the pack, you get cut off, and they keep doing that until there's only like 10 racers. When you load into that, guys, on screen it'll say waiting for players. It'll just say that on the bottom. And you're in open world mode with your friends. So, like, loading in Mario Kart is basically non-existent. There's loading, but, like, you're not going to notice it. So, I didn't notice it. When we picked our karts, knockout mode. Yeah, knockout mode is loading as you're in open world mode. Nightbreaker.
Absolutely, Jay Didu and Miyamoto touch mushroom tips. Ooh.
I'm going over my notes here. All right. So, no, Miyamoto was not there. Yes, and that is Green Mind. That is Rich, by the way.
Absolutely, Jay, did you and Miyamoto touch mushroom tips? Ooh.
Did I order the camera? Absolutely, because I'm a reviewer. How'd the Pro Controller feel? Super Jude. Super Jude, I answered tons of stuff in this video today. Overall, it feels the same as the first one. I'm a little annoyed that it has that white stripe on the front. Other than that, the D-pad, I think, is a little bit better. Like, very small amount. The back buttons are a welcome addition because they go right where you want them. So you can assign that to anything. In Mario Kart, I would assign that to releasing your items. All right, so Street Fighter 6 was amazing. Yakuza 0 was amazing. It looked really, really good. I mean, it's not like the game's pushing limits here. Let me just get this out of the way. The Nintendo Switch 2 is essentially a PlayStation. I would say it's a PlayStation Pro, PlayStation 4 Pro baseline. So think about what I'm saying here. Is it too thin? No, the console's perfect, man. The console feels amazing to hold. No one's going to complain about that. So the Switch 2, in terms of its performance, from what I can gauge from all the games I saw, it's a baseline of that, you know, like some games are going to look like a PlayStation 4 game. Some games are going to look like a PlayStation 5 game, but not run well, at least from what I've seen. Can they fix that? Maybe. Now, I'll get to that in a second. So, Yakuza 0, I watched that. Looks amazing. Runs amazing. No issues. Flawless. So, what I'm getting at is like PlayStation 4 games that are brought over to the Switch 2 now with enhancements, they're going to look amazing and run amazing. So, there's no doubt about that. Games do look amazing from that era, right? But when you take a PlayStation 5 game and you try to put it on the Switch 2, it's like you're downgrading it a little bit. You have to. It can't outright play PlayStation 5 games like that. It can't do it. It kind of reminds me of like an Xbox Series S, but 4K. So take an Xbox Series X, make it S, I should say, make it 4K. There you go. That's what's that's what you're gonna get out of the system. Now, Yakuza looked amazing, played amazing, totally worth buying if you've never played those games. So is Nintendo behind the times? In a way, is Nintendo behind the times? Yeah. Yep. It's not playing at a PlayStation 5 Pro level. We all know that. It's not playing at a PlayStation 5 level for everything. Let me talk about Cyberpunk for a second. Cyberpunk looks unbelievable on the system. From a graphical standpoint, amazing. But there's a caveat. A lot of the stuff is running with like heavy AI upscaling, okay? And you're getting like VRR, you're getting like muddy visuals. Like right on the reticle, anything that's past 20 feet, it's muddy, you know? But again, I would say, well, hang on a second. I would say that that's a demo. It's an old demo, so we don't know exactly what we're going to get out of it. Would you say that downgrades are like original Switch to PS4, Switch to PS5? No, Tank. So that's a good example, okay? So remember the original Switch could basically not handle PlayStation 4 games? So all of those PlayStation 4 games would come out and it wasn't worth playing, right? Like Mortal Kombat 1 and a bunch of other crap. You know that, right? The difference here is, though, the window between the Switch 2 and the PlayStation 5 is much more narrow. So on the original system, I'd say they were this far apart and you just couldn't do it. Now, I would say when a PlayStation 5 game comes out, you could definitely play it on Switch 2, but there's a bit of a balancing act. Like, we're talking about you either get 25, 30 frames per second at ultra quality, because like Cyberpunk looks insane on the system. It looks better than any other handheld, but it only runs at 25, 30 frames per second, and even in performance mode. You see what I'm getting at here? So you could take a PlayStation 5 game and put it on the Switch 2, but it's always going to look, either it's going to run at 60 frames per second and look like a very low-end PC game, or it's going to look like at a high mid-level PC game, somewhere in there, but 30 frames capped at 20. And by the way, probably at like 720p. I'll be honest with you guys, because maybe 1080p. There's a balancing act there. So you guys hear what I'm saying now? So the gap is much more narrow between the two systems, but there's a bit of a balancing act that Nintendo has to play with. So it's not going to blow you away because the frame rate's not going to be 60 at an ultra level graphic with Cyberpunk. Does Cyberpunk look better on the Switch 2 and Steam Deck? Yes, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, it looks way better on Switch 2, in my opinion. Like, it could barely play on a Steam Deck on low settings. But the kicker, though, is that we're running it at 30 frames per second. Now, it's impressive because the demo's this whole chunk of an open world with a vertical building and these mechs are walking out, enemies coming at you. It's insane to see, but like if you put the Switch 2 next to a PC on medium settings, the PC is going to blow it out of the water. You know what I'm saying? We're still dealing with that from a resolution standpoint. However, with DLSS or VRR, we're getting close, but we're still behind. Yes, this is a backpack Nintendo
Did
game.
you play Hitman War?
Nope. Wasn't there, man. Now, I could already say, I could already guess Hitman probably runs decently on the Switch too. Now, let me move on to the next game. So, I personally can't suggest you buy Cyberpunk for the Switch 2 based on what I saw. That frame rate, 24, 30 frames. Performance mode fixed it a little, took down some of the sort of like texturing in the world. If you've never played it, I still wouldn't play it on the Switch 2. Sir, what's up, dude? Thanks for subbing. Sir Pitt, nice. Let's move on to the other games I saw. So I saw Hogwarts Legacy. Is it playable? Yes. Is it clunky? Yes. Does it graphically stand up against like a low-end PC? Yes. Do I blame Warner Brothers for that? Yes. Do I blame the Switch 2's horsepower? No. Is it rushed? I'm guessing. So, it's tough to be like, yeah, play it on Switch 2. So, yeah, there's another third-party game by a developer who just doesn't know what they're doing yet. They have to work into it.
Folk need to remember Nintendo have never been about power or graphics previously.
Yeah, well, this time around, Twiz, they are about graphics, man. Mario Kart, when you look at it, guys, let me fanboy for 5 seconds here, okay? When you look at Mario Kart World Tour on the 4K display, 60 frames per second with the animation, you're inside of a Pixar Nintendo world. Like, it's getting very close to that. Very, very close to that. I would say that the texture is not as sharp as like a Pixar film. But in terms of the atmosphere and the world building in this game, you're being put into a world of Mario Kart. That's why it's called Mario Kart World. It's living, it's breathing. There's things moving. There's characters driving on the world. There's tons of shit to see. The water looks spectacular. It reminds me of playing like Wave Race. How vertical the level design is just... I can't fucking wait to play Mario Kart at home, man. I'll be playing it nonstop, man. It's a system seller, dude. By the way, I secured a second Switch bundle with Mario Kart World, and I'm going to be giving it away to one of you guys watching. So I did get 2 backpacks, but my boy Zalen's getting one of them because he's legend. So Nintendo also gave away these backpacks to certain people for some reason. So I managed to get my hands on a second pre-order. If I get my hands on the third pre-order, which I have an invite for, hopefully waiting on it, I will give away the second Switch very quickly within the release window. So hopefully one will be a bundle, one will not be a bundle because I can't get 2. It's been impossible. So what about you guys? Well, you're not Zalen. Zalen gets this. This is Zalen's backpack. So I'm giving away the Switch 2 with Mario Kart bundled in on the show. I'll have it on June 8th. By June 8th, we will figure out who it's getting sent to. The second I get it, the moment I could get it shipped out to the winner, I will send it at the fastest rate possible, which is probably overnight. I don't care if it's $200 to send it to you. As long as you're in North America, you're getting that Switch. How many liters can this hold? Probably. What kind of question is that? Probably 5 liters of semen. All right, so I can't wait to see who the Switch 2 goes to, man. I love giving back to you guys because you guys give so much to me. Give it to DSP. He needs it. Listen. No, I'm not going to be... I'll say not. Listen. May 1st birth stream starts at noon on RTU Streams or whatever the fuck he's called that channel now.
Congratulations.
Well, there's his career. So yeah, May 1st birth stream starts at noon, starring Rich and I are going to completely demolish DSP during that stream. I can't wait because I don't talk about DSP here. We're doing it on Rich's channel. I don't want to do it here because you guys don't give a shit about that. However, tune in to that one. It's going to get stupid. So anyways, let me continue with the games, okay? So Cyberpunk, I don't recommend. It just didn't run well. I mean, I just was disappointed in it. Let me look over my notes. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, guys. If you have any more questions about anything, by the way, the Joy-Cons together in the Joy-Con grip feels awesome. Feels more chunky. Feels like you're holding something that's valuable. It feels like it is obviously a bit bigger because technically it is a bit bigger. Did I try Welcome Tour? Well, yes.
Does switch to pump big loads of OG Switch?
Oh, God.
Keep coming.
Yes, it does. All right. So listen, was World Tour there or whatever the hell it's called? Nintendo Tour. Yes, it was there. Did I play it? No. Did I see people playing it? Yes. Do I think you should buy it when the system comes out? No, absolutely not. It should be a free packing game. Nintendo's lost their goddamn minds thinking that anybody should buy that fucking demo. So I'll get that out of the way. The tour should be free. Should be on the system when you turn it on. Not $10. Nope. So there's your answer. Thank you, Miyamoto. All right, let me look at my notes again. All right, so Mario Kart, I went over all of that. I could still talk about it, guys. I saw things in Mario Kart that I was like, whoa. Did I just see that? Like, dude, okay, let me give you an example of something I saw that was incredible. You know when a blue shell explodes and the racer, like, gets thrown up in the air? Let me try to explain this. Now when you get hit, you're still moving forward, okay? So rather than you, like, get hit and then go up in the air and land where you were, it now throws you places. But here's what's crazy. When the blue shell explodes and there's items on the track, those fucking items go everywhere. So you could be racing and see a blue shell explode halfway across the level, and you'll see you'll just look. Bananas are going over your head. And they'll, like, land on Donkey Kong and take him out. That's how crazy the game is, okay? The Hammer Brothers hammers. When you throw those, it's so much fun, man. It feels so good to take out the racers in front of you. So you're driving. You know, it's like every other weapon. You throw it, obviously. But you throw it, it does this, like, curve and lands on top of them. And it destroys the level where it lands. So get this, guys. Are you ready for this? No, rainbow? I didn't see rainbow. Listen to this. When you throw it, it goes into the ground, but it creates a crater. If you're a smart player, you can jump off of that crater and use a boost. As you guys know, any jumps in the game, when you hit the boost button, gives you a boost. Guys, everything in the game gives you a boost now. So if there's something on the track that's distorted because of an explosion, you can now jump off of that in real time. So let me reiterate, the game's built on combo systems now. So like I said, now you shake the Joy-Con in midair and you do different tricks depending on how you move the controller. You can also taunt. This is a world exclusive because I've heard nobody talk about this. Are you ready? It's the best thing they've added, unless I'm mistaken. Are you ready for this? When you hit somebody with a red shell now, every single character has different suits and different carts and different looks. Here's what's awesome. When you go by a player now, the left bumper is a taunt. It's not a taunt button, but you can use it as a taunt button. So for Donkey Kong, he does different things. Like he'll go like, ooh, ooh, or whatever. So when you take somebody out now, you hit that. And you could do emotes. So you could race by somebody and say, good luck, after you've taken them out, which pisses you off. You're like, oh my God. So yes, Smush says a Luigi stare. Dude, Nintendo listened. They delivered. You can now do things like that. So if you're Donkey Kong and you take somebody out, when you hit with the shell, he'll automatically do that. Or he'll go like this or whatever. But as you're racing, remember, it's a free roaming camera on the right stick now. So say we're in open world battle mode, right? And Juicy Booch is next to me and I take him out with a red shell. But I want to taunt him. I drive up to him now and turn my camera to make sure, like, you can look around now, right? But I can look at him now, hit the taunt button or the button, and go like, and the characters, because we're close vicinity to each other, they look at each other. So Donkey Kong will like look over. I've noticed it. I hope it's in the final game. You know, take it with a grain of salt. But like if I take Booch out and go up to him, Donkey Kong will look at Booch physically on screen and be like, and as a player that got knocked out, you get so mad. You're like I'm gonna get that guy back.
It's been a while, guys. I'm here.
So yeah, Enrage Booch. That's exactly it, man. So, Jeff, thank you, dude. I appreciate the support. Let me look at my notes. By the way, guys, I'm gonna finish up here in a second because I'm losing my voice. I've literally been talking for 3 hours, 18 minutes straight. Thank you so much for the support today, by the way, guys. Thank you for the 20 memberships. I still got lots to talk about here. Let's get through it. Yes, I'm streaming with Rich on May 1st, the May 1st burst. Okay, let me just look. Hang on, guys. Oh, yeah, and there's a ton of racers in Mario Kart. Okay, so Mario Kart's a must-own. We went over that. Hang on. Just want to make sure I get all of this for you guys. By the way, I'm going to make a video on all of this stuff. It's probably going to be a long video.
Listen, jump from the top bunk and come down here and bless both of my two Switch 2 consoles. Banana emoji, 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 banana emoji.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Adam W. There's no way in hell I'm letting that play out. People are going to lose their minds. Thank you for the support for the last 14 months. I'm just checking my notes, make sure I got everything in here today. If you're watching the VOD of this, you're a legend. It's a lot of information to take in. Yeah, Soul Calibur 2 was there. It plays exactly how you would assume. There's no issues with it. Emulation looks like it runs fine on that regard. Wind Waker obviously looks like it plays amazing on there. Metroid Prime Beyond, again, played amazing. Although I think it was only playing in 1080p. Legend of Zelda games looked incredible in 4K 60 upscaled. Definitely must own Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2 if you're a fan of it. Street Fighter was awesome. Graphically, you know, it's not top of the line, but it does enough. Cyberpunk looked physically amazing. Ran not so good. Harry Potter Legacy. Harry Potter Legacy was a game that worked, but WB needs to do a lot of work on that demo. So that's it, man. I saw the wheelchair game. I'll say this. Does it look fun? Yeah. Is it a tech demo? Kind of. But yeah, it does look like a lot of fun, man. So, here's the deal. I'll be back tomorrow for a stream. Oh, Dimitri, you're so late. By the way, again, thank you for the support today. I appreciate you guys. You guys are legendaries. PC mode? What's PC mode? Yeah, Drag X Drive is what it's called. It looks okay. So, any last questions, ask me now. I'll answer as much as possible before I get out of here. I'm losing my voice. I don't want to do that. Again, thank you so much for the support. Mouse mode is incredible. It works 1-to-1. There's no issues with that. Oh, man. Zalen with the 10 gifted. Thank you very much, dude. Why did you do that? You know what? Zalen, you think...
Banana.
Zalen thinks he has the upper hand here because... I see what he's trying to do. Listen, everybody knows that Zalen worked his ass off for my anniversary stream with the video, right? So I owe him something, right? So I thought, I'm going to send him Switch 2 backpack, which is super hard to get. He says he has a higher ground. Listen, motherfucker. You can't control what I put in here. So, get ready. Because I'll get you back. You may be gifting me this stuff, but all the money you're giving me now, I'm putting back into here. So nice try.
You are my baby daddy.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. So last questions here. And Zalen, do not do that again today. It'll make it worse for you. I'll do that. I'll get crazy. Are you excited for the Switch 2? Overall, I guess I can answer that. Any last questions? Let's get them in now. Let me know in the chat. Seriously. Congrats on getting a pre-order, Zalen, says Dimitri. Nice. Am I excited for the Switch 2? Here's what I'm excited for. Donkey Kong, I'm not excited for, okay? I'll be honest with you. I thought it was a bit meaningless. The gameplay didn't connect with me. Pushing that button over and over drove me nuts. I just don't know what that's about. Now, day one. Yeah, it's not meaningful, man. You're like, you're hitting the button over and over and over, and you're finding bananas, and that's it. That's the demo. So I don't know, man. I'd wait for a review on that one. That's not a day one purchase for me. I'll probably be reviewing it, to be honest with you guys, because I'm like Nintendo sent me. I'm assuming they're going to be like, here's a review copy. So any other questions? Seriously, anybody? Will it bring... Let's see. It does look repetitive, yes. Wood says, how much for 10? What time is it? How much for 10? Jesus Christ. I'm already losing my voice. Is there a new bowling game? Not that I saw. Any games you want to see ported? Fresh Hotline. How you doing, man? Yeah. Actually, I'll answer this again. How hard was it to remove the magnetic Joy-Cons? Dude, nobody should worry about that. Extremely hard. Like I said earlier, you cannot remove the Joy-Cons sideways like this. You can't pull it off sideways like that because it goes so deep into the system. You can only pull it off or up like that or off like that. Like, that's it. You can only do it these motions. So, in terms of the amount of force, how deep does it go in? I don't know, like that much, you know? Like very, like enough so there's like a bit of a feeling. Boom, you know what I mean? It feels good. So, to pull the Joy-Con off like that, what you're saying, dude, it actually takes a lot of force. Like, look, I'm pulling that pretty tight. Even doing it like this, it still wouldn't come out. Like, that's the first thing I did. Actually, I got it on video, so you guys will see it in the video. Very hard to do. All right, any last questions for this stream? Let me know. Any details on Dusk Bloods? No. Way too early. Way too early for that game. So, you know, any last questions for the media, guys? You got media here. Plans for stream tomorrow. Tomorrow, I have no Lego to do. So, I'm just going to make this announcement. Lego streams, while they started off strong and people love them, way too much money. I spent... I don't even know how much on the Mario Kart Lego that's showing up. So that's it. I don't have any more Lego to buy at the moment. And yeah, it's too expensive to do it every weekend. So there'll be Lego streams on Sundays, but not tomorrow. So we'll see. How many Asian men did you see on stage at the event? Oddly enough, not a lot of Asian people there. There was a few Asian people there. Yeah, that shit expensive. Yeah, no shit, eh? Buy $10 Lego sets and just put those together. Yeah, the Lego stream started out strong. People love those, but yeah, I just can't do it every Sunday. So the other thing I like to do on Sundays is just like have a chill stream for everybody. So we'll probably do that tomorrow. All right, what's my shoe size? 12. I have very wide feet. Chill. Nice. Cheetah Man, appreciate it. All right, who's still here before I head out? Thank you so much for today. It's almost 3.5 hours. I appreciate the support today. I'm going to work on a video for the Switch 2. So there's going to be a lot of footage in there, a lot of stuff I didn't talk about. So get ready for that. Yeah, viewership's great today. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I mean, everyone's obviously excited about the Switch 2. I'm so happy. It's true what they say about big feet. True. Did I play any of the games in portable? Yes, I did. Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong. I think I played Donkey Kong. I gotta look at the footage.
Chat, I just need you to find 20 gifted memberships so he has to stay for 2 hours. It will be tremendous and humongous. I must have more Jaces.
Are you really trying to do that to me? That's disgusting behavior, okay? Am I excited for the 480p Hori camera? No. So, let me ask this question to you guys. Does anybody have any more questions about... By the way, Wood, thank you for the support. Any more questions about Mario Kart? Like, specific questions about Mario Kart or any of the launch titles? Let me know now, quick. Let's see if there's any other Mario Kart questions. How bright's the screen in HDR? Dude, the screen's amazing. Screen's amazing. How many bananas? Thousands. Lots of bananas in that game. How was the pace of Mario Kart? Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Was it just open world or just tracks? Both. I experienced both. Open world is incredible. All of the tracks I played were top tier tracks, man. We're talking about Nintendo design. So we're talking about a vertical level. Because you can grind now, it opens up the game so much. Also, I played as the cow a bunch of times. How many characters are there? I didn't count, but I've got footage of it. So a lot of that stuff will be answered in my main video. Oh, man. So, yeah, thank you for the support today, guys. How many teeth did the cow have? The cow had quite a bit. How much is Metroid Prime 4? Don't know the price of it yet. Did I taste the cartridges? No, but I can confirm that the cartridges are going to taste weird. Sorry, JTL, what question did you ask? What question did I avoid? Does Mario Kart still have rubber banding with ketchup? With ketchup, yeah. So let me answer that final question about Mario Kart. How's the rubber banding? The rubber banding in Mario Kart World is a lot. There's some serious rubber banding, but it keeps all of the races like nail biters. You're like, oh my god. Now, is there a way to completely suck and come in last place? Yeah, but I mean, like, the game's constantly... Keep in mind, this is a demo, so I don't know how it'll be in the final game, but the rubber banding is the same amount as the last game. Twist says, Jay doesn't answer a lot of mine. That's cool, though. What are you talking about? I answered lots of yours. By the way, wait a second. Will said Mario Kart's open world is not a fully skill-based then, like a skill-based game. Yes, it kind of is, man. If you know how to use the combo system in the game with the rail grind and the wall riding, and then the jumping in the air with like the special abilities in the air, which I don't even want to disclose here, but like when you chain them all together, you get more and more boosts, especially with coins now. Guys, there's a strategy involved with this one. It's not just like get an item and crash into people. It's much more than that this time around. It's grinding, jumping onto the walls, flying over people, landing on people. There's a lot to it. How heavy was the Switch 2? It felt like this, man. It didn't feel much more than an OLED. So... you can purposely go to 5th place or wherever. Oh, yeah. So Bullet Bill is back in the game. And dude, he's annoying as hell as usual. But there's again, the feather allows you to jump over Bullet Bill now. Like, there's crazy stuff you can do. Guys, let me just close it out with a scenario. If Bullet Bill is up your ass and you're about to get hit, you're going to get a notification on screen that he's coming up behind you. Literally.
Keep coming!
Are you ready for this? If you have the feather, you can jump, attach yourself to the wall, which will give you a speed boost to avoid oncoming carts, oncoming items, including Bullet Bill. So, guys, you have to look at Mario Kart less like Mario Kart, more like a sort of bowl, if I can explain it that way. Because you could drive on the walls. You can grind on top of the level now, if you can get up there. Oh, by the way, guys, I'll close it out with this because you've never seen this and it's a bit of an exclusive. If there's two walls near each other, you can literally, in Mario Kart now, do Mario jumping. Which means, let's say there's two walls here. You can drive full speed and go like this. Off this wall, power jump to that wall, power jump to this wall as you're rising up the level. That's how you find secrets. Wink, wink. So, yes, you can ninja jump in Mario Kart. Yeah. Yeah. Get fucking hyped. Mario Kart World is the best Mario Kart I've ever played. It's a system seller. I can get away with saying that easy. So you can wall jump. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. You can do it all the way up. If you're skilled. It's about skill. You can't just hit the button. You got to do it properly. So anti-grav is kind of back. And then you can get to the top and grind on top of buildings. Guys, the game is insane. It's insane. Yes, you can jump. You can jump on the walls. 4-player offline mode, I'm assuming it does have that. I didn't see any of that, so I can't answer that. No, Glamorous, you can't just... It's a killer app, absolutely. It's absolutely a killer app. You can't just mash the button and go... do-do-do-do. You can't do that. Now, last thing I want to say for Mario Kart... you can't customize carts. You can only choose individual carts this time around, which I like. What you can do, though, is change the costumes that you're in, which is awesome. So if you're with your friends online, you could do it that way. Did I get to play Fast Fusion? No, but I'm going to say this off the bat. Fast Fusion is a must-own day one. It's $20 Canadian. I will yell on the rooftops for everybody to buy that game. Can you put spinners on the cart? I don't think so. DLC characters and costumes incoming? Probably. Probably. I'll say that much. The game is definitely designed to have major add-ons. I really feel like we're going to get like mission-based stuff. So, yeah. Yes, Fast Fusion is $14.99 US day one. It's a must-own. Okay. Ken Don says, are you forced to use Nintendo's webcam or can we use our own? I'm hearing, and I think it's basically confirmed, you can use a USB-C. Any USB-C webcam that plugs into the Switch, you can use it. So, in dock mode, you'll be able to do USB. In handheld mode, USB-C cameras. What is Fast Fusion? Fast Fusion is basically F-Zero. So, the docking is only USB-C on the docking is not USB-C-A. So, yeah. USB-C is on the bottom of the system. That's how the system docks into the console. So, if you have a USB-C camera, you can plug it into the bottom or the top of the console. The dock itself has just USB. So, standard USB webcam should just plug into the dock and work if it's docked. Now, obviously, you probably could use a converter from USB to USB-C to plug into handheld mode. All right, guys. Did I play anything at 120 frames? No. Unfortunately, they didn't have anything displayed like that. Now, Metroid Prime at 120 is going to be mind-blowing. All right, I want to thank everyone watching today, and thank you for the support. We hit 30 out of 50 for the goal. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate the support very much. I thank you for supporting my show after a year and however long I've been doing this now. You guys mean the world to me. I will have a video probably up on Monday or Tuesday with my experience, it probably will be a long video, to be honest with you, because I have a lot to say. A lot of stuff I didn't really maybe cover here, I'll talk about over there. I've got footage. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I'll be on at the same time as today, basically. So, yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support. Now, if you guys have any extra questions, let me know tomorrow. I'll still answer questions tomorrow. But overall, do you buy a Switch 2 on launch day for Mario Kart only? Absolutely. For everything else, including Metroid, can you wait? Yeah, you can wait. You're not going to lose your mind. No.
Did you lick the console handheld like Jess Chobot?
No. Dude, you know how many people lick the console? I'm not doing it.
Watching classic movies tonight. Bugsy Malone.
Nice, Shane's World, thank you. Overall, I'm very excited for the Switch 2's potential. Mario Kart is a must-own. Metroid Prime is a must-own. Everything else, you can get it. Do I recommend it? Not yet. But the system architecture is powerful as hell. I think in the first couple of months, we're going to start to see previews of games that are going to be must-own on that system. Mostly from Nintendo. How's the audio? Audio's as good as it was on the OLED. Very hard for me to hear in the event. But yeah, it sounds awesome. It's louder, that's for sure. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you, Booch.
Juchi.
Banana.
Keep coming!
Zalen, send me your address. Thank you, Raw Dakota. Love you guys. See you guys tomorrow.
Let's touch Joy-Cons.
Keep coming!
You are my baby daddy.